a diamond ring in some fucking coal that was formed 2 million years ago or something. He collected numerous accounts of aerial phenomena, like what would be UFOs now, and all kinds of things of this nature that seem to be demonstrable phenomena, but is ignored by mainstream science. And so that's the Fortean text, Charles Fort. Look him up, motherfucking Sunday evening overdose audience. Actually, Max, if you could post the Wikipedia about Charles Fort and the Fortean text to the Sunday evening overdose page. Throughout the show, we try to keep it semi-interactive, and we post things we're talking about, whatever, to the page. You can check them out, comment on them, interact with the show, or call in 708-244-8142. So that explains that. Chris York coming up in a little while from the Fortean Slip up there in Maine. I wanted to get to a couple little things before we listen to a couple songs and then have our guest on. That Hobby Lobby fucking thing turned into demons and witch tapestries, as is wont to happen here. Last week I covered probably a little bit too much shark news. I had some complaints, and I also had some support on that. One of my other issues here is, shark apologists, the blame the people crowd, blame the humans, trying to make excuses for giant fucking bloodthirsty monsters tearing people apart. That sensible crowd. We had, just because, I just want to fucking real quick, last week I covered the fact, I told you, I predicted that there would be more great white shark attacks, and already this week we had a great white shark attack at Manhattan Beach Pier out in California. The swimmer was bitten and taken to a local hospital. I guess they're going to be all right. Moderate bite wounds. That's not the point. It could have been worse. Do you have any idea what a great white shark is capable of? And I think this was a juvenile, let's see. Yeah, and by the way, it was hooked by a fisherman. So what the fuck is this circumstance? And I read that the guy, it was hooked for up to 40 minutes. The guy's got a shark on his line for 40 minutes. Surely a guy, it's a shark at that point. You know how you can see how big it is. You can see the fins. I've seen sharks when they're hooked. They come out of the water. It was trying to free itself and was biting the line when a group of long-distance swimmers just swam by. Who the fuck are these people? Long-distance swimmers swimming right through a fucking shark-catching incident. Getting bitten. Still, no excuse. You know what I mean? No excuse for biting. They, of course, reopened the beach immediately, as they always fucking do. Yeah, we had, here's a great example of this the shark apologist crowd. Witnesses told authorities that the 7-foot juvenile great white shark bit the anchovies and sardines bait on the hook that a fisherman had thrown into the water. All right, let's see. I'm trying to get to the part where they fucking apologize for the shark's animalistic, cruel behavior. This is where they live. It's their home. That was a comment from Captain Tracy Lizotte, Lizotte of Los Angeles County Lifeguard. So these are the people responsible for your safety at the beach. Supposed to keep humans alive, siding with the sharks. He was trying to get off the line. He was agitated and probably biting everything in his way, and then the swimmer ran right into him. Well, Tracy Lizotte, I've seen enough of these fucking cases to know, I'm capable of punching someone in the face, but that doesn't mean every time somebody walks past me, I do it. Walk past a fucking shark, you know what happens. All right? That's it for this week. I don't know. What do we got? I'm going to get to some of this stuff. I'm going to get to the busloads of illegal immigrants turned away in California. I'm going to get to some hunger strikes in prisons. But we're going to go local here for a minute, like you're supposed to in radio. We're going to talk about Chicago for a second. I pulled this article, I think it was on Monday, and the headline on NBC.com, 29 shot in Chicago since Friday. What the fuck is happening here? 29 people were shot over the weekend. This was last weekend. And we got a caller calling in. Hey, whoever that was that just called, you can call back. I accidentally hung up on you. I'm sorry. 2 women were shot in the 4500 block of North Simmons Drive around 6:45 p.m. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to just list everyone that was shot. Sorry, I started doing that. I guess around the Gay Pride Parade, there was some shootings. I guess we got a caller who wants to weigh in on this. Oh, what's up? You're on the Overdose.
Hey, man. How's it going?
All right, how you doing? Are you listening to the show?
Yes, I am.
Sweet. So you know what we're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people getting shot.
Yep.
Yeah, man. And for me, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you talk in a second. But the only point I guess I don't have to go over all the fucking news here. Here's what we got: 29 people shot last weekend. Fucking like 6 dead, 35 wounded over the 4th of July weekend. I'm a pro Second Amendment, anti-restriction type of guy, but it's getting harder and harder to fucking, this shit is out of control. It's unfucking believable. And really, to someone like me, it makes me think, oh, well, all the more reason I want a fucking gun then, to protect myself against this insanity. But,
right.
Fucking 60 whatever fucking shootings in 2 weekends. What's going on?
I'm seeing right now more than 50 shots, 7 dead.
Hang on one second, Joey. I'm sorry. This is Joey from Downers Grove on the phone. Well, our producer was chiming in.
Yeah, I just wanted to interject. I'm seeing on the internet right now more than 50 shots, 7 dead.
Over the 2 weekends?
I think just the holiday.
Just this weekend?
The holiday weekend.
So that's holy fuck.
That might even have been just the 4th of July.
I'm looking at
that's including the whole weekend.
I'm looking at the July 5th Sun-Times Media Wire, and it says 6 dead, 35 wounded. Our producer, sorry, you couldn't hear. Our producer was saying, what was it? 50 shot, 7 dead, over 50, whatever.
3 police shootings on 4th of July alone.
Did police get shot or did police shoot people?
Shot people.
They're always doing that. Let's go to the caller. You got a point about all the shootings?
Yeah, well, I got a point about people's right to carry arms, and I think it kind of relates to what you were talking about with the sharks. It's we're all animals, and people like to separate themselves from the animal kingdom, but we're still a part of it, and we got to have the right to defend ourselves. And people can go psycho, and it's important to have that opportunity to defend yourself, and we all got to be equally armed. That's what my belief is.
Or at least you have the opportunity to be, if you so choose, and you're not told by some overarching authoritarian figure that, person A is allowed to have this, person B is not allowed to, or something like that. Which involves the basic hypocrisy of a monopoly on violence. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what we have in a lot of parts of this country, in Chicago especially. You have the police and the gangs heavily armed, and most, law-abiding citizens have nothing, nothing close to what these people have.
Although you'd be surprised how many people do have guns, it's just that, people that aren't nuts don't fucking walk around talking about it constantly and showing everyone their guns. A lot of people do have them.
Yep.
A lot of people you'd never expect. A lot of families... you break into the wrong house, you get your head blown off,
oh, hell yeah. And that's your God-given right, I think.
Yeah. it's your right wherever you think it comes from. Yeah, I mean, to me it's a right one of logical reasoning and defended with the same. So yeah, I mean, so we got a fuckload of shootings. I guess it scares the shit out of everybody. You know, Anthony Cumia would get into the fact that these were probably a lot of gang shootings and, you know, get into the whole race thing. I'm not going to do that, but just in honor of him being fired.
Well, and, you know, Chicago has some pretty strict gun laws, and it's ironic that the gangs are so heavily armed. You know, it just goes to show, you know, people can get this shit illegally. It doesn't matter what kind of laws we have. And, you know, our nation decided when it was founded that everyone would be allowed to be armed, and you just basically taking security away from certain people by making these restrictions.
How long has weed been illegal?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not sure. I don't know the numbers on that.
75 years or something?
Same principle. Yeah.
And I got another question for you. Do you want some weed? I have a lot of weed.
Oh, yeah, man.
Okay, cool. We'll just come over later because it's been illegal for 75 years, but I know like 50 fucking people we can buy some from, so don't worry.
Okay, cool.
Prohibition works, ladies and gentlemen. Prohibition works to make weed really fucking expensive. That's what it works for. Fucking assholes. $50 an eighth still in this fucking day and age. Things should be different. What do you think of the weed? What do you think of the weed prices? Weed prices have been the same for like 15 years. That's what kind of freaks me out. It's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah, same
have it been the
since
same?
like high school for me.
I've seen them go up within my lifetime.
No, you haven't.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're a lying piece of shit.
$5.
It was what?
For what?
Per weed.
Per weed?
That's a very vague. How much weed?
No, for one
if
weed, which is actually enough to overdose, I think. Hello?
What's that?
I think one weed is actually enough to overdose in some cases.
Yeah, absolutely. It's super dangerous.
Anyways, let's move past that. For that, anything else you wanted to talk about? Or what do you got?
Well, yeah, I kind of want to connect the topic of gun violence to the topic of Hobby Lobby for a second. You know,
fuck yeah, let's do that.
Yes. Okay. So, you know, we have this concept of separation of church and state in our society, which is just as old as our Constitution. However, our Constitution also mentions all these God-given rights, and morality and law and religion and law go hand in hand all the way back in human society. And
yeah, no, separation of church and state.
Society right now where it's like we separate our God-given rights from our law and our morality from our law. And I think that's why we're taking the right to defend yourself away from certain citizens. And, you know, it goes hand in hand with the right of a business, whether it's a small business or a corporation, to choose how they want to operate.
Our guest, sorry to pause, our guest just messaged me and asked if he can curse on the show. And I'm going to reply and
fuck
say...
yeah, you can fucking curse.
Say, please do. Please do curse. He must not be listening. So, you know, what you said about separation of church and state, correct me if I'm wrong, but, you know, that's a phrase that kind of lost some meaning over the years, and really what it referred to was there will be no government-mandated religion or direct persecution of a religion, right?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
So, a lot of, I mean, that, I guess it doesn't mean...
We got another caller.
It doesn't mean that you can't make laws regarding, you know, that might affect the practice of a religion, right?
Right, exactly, which is why I agree with you about the Supreme Court decision. I think it is Hobby Lobby's right to, you know, choose not to provide contraceptives, and you can choose to protest that with how you spend your money.
Yeah, sorry. Fuck, I fucked up another caller. But, whoever that caller was, call back again. Yeah, and, you know, I guess if I did have to take a like an A or B black and white position on the Hobby Lobby thing, I would agree with the Supreme Court. You know, I'm just so anti-government, it's hard for me to even discuss any of it anymore at this point, because it's like, what I really want to talk about is like, who the fuck does the Supreme Court think they are? Why do we not have a more updated, better fucking system at this point? But, I don't know. I do agree in terms of, like, just leave people alone and let the chips fall where they may. People will support who they want to support, or they'll get a shitty society. I mean, well, it's one of the things we're dealing with right now is we let our corporations and government run away from us for too fucking long, and we enjoyed a very long period of prosperity, and people didn't really have to worry about too much. And now we're starting to realize, look, we got lazy, we got soft, and we need to start fucking being responsible consumers for these reasons. I got another caller. I got to let you go.
Sure.
But thanks for calling in, man. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
There goes Joey from Downers Grove. I got Patrick calling in from Berwyn, Illinois. What the fuck is going on with you?
No longer in Berwyn as of right now. Still talking about Hobby Lobby.
No, so you're not listening to the show, huh?
Well, I'm kind of, but you can't call and listen at the same time.
Yeah, well, we could talk about it. I just kind of went over it again really quick. We connected it to to the idea of, like, self-ownership and right to protect yourself and this and that somehow. I don't know. We've been, we smoke weed.
I think it's like a tactic for, like, mind control. Just like the $27 trillion bailout. That's what I think. I think that
I'm just going to go ahead and give you the floor on that because please explain to our listeners that might kind of be freaked out by that statement. What do you mean? What do you mean it's about mind control?
What they do is they take an argument about something and they focus everybody's attention on it. But the mind control part is no matter which side you take, neither side threatens the existence of the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. So that's how it works. So you argue and you say, "Oh well, I'm on that side. No, I'm on this side." But both sides accommodate the existence of it, which it shouldn't exist. So that's how it works. So just like the bailouts, well, should they give these bonuses to these bankers or should they not? But both sides let the bailout exist. So they let it's a way, you know what I mean?
Both sides don't acknowledge the fact that, like, they shouldn't have the power to give them the bailout in the first fucking place.
Right, and both sides of this allow the Affordable Care Act to exist. So what you do is you surpass whether it exists or not, and then you argue on top of that, and then it remains. They do it about everything. It's real simple. But I got to go right now. I'll be listening. I'll call maybe later.
Okay, goodbye. Thanks for listening. It's about time we took a break, and my producer Max is going to get our guest on the phone. We're going to talk about Anthony Cumia, and then we're going to get into some other things that we share as interest with the show, the Fortean Slip. We got Chris York. What? Oh, I thought my producer was talking to me. Max, you listening? You gonna get the guest on the phone? Yeah. All right, we're gonna go to.
Cut out.
What the fuck is happening? Put my mic back on. What the fuck? I don't know what the fuck just happened here. We're trying to play some Tomorrow Kings for you. We try again. As we. Oh well, I might as well take this fucking caller.
What the fuck? I don't know what the fuck is happening here.
What do you want?
Yo, we're trying to play some Tomorrow Kings for you. Hey,
turn your fucking radio down. What do you want?
Are you live yet?
Are we live?
Yeah.
We start at 9.
I know. You're on the show. It says you're on fucking break. You're gonna play 2 songs. Are you still doing that?
Yeah, I was gonna play 2 songs, and now this laptop is fucking up.
Dude, fuck your laptop.
It doesn't work like that. I need it to.
You can't curse on the fucking
play
show.
Some death grips.
Can we figure out? Can we play music somewhere else? No. Can we use the control of your computer? No. This is fucked up again. Anyways, what did you call in for this time?
No, I just called because I was actually listening this time.
Oh, okay. Well, people are sick of death grips, by the way.
Yeah, fuck them.
I like them, but if they're not playing at Pitchfork, I'm gonna be fucking pissed off. I'll tell you that much right now. I did you read that shit that they're canceling a bunch of gigs?
It was 40% of the reason I bought my own ticket, and they're just going to go and cancel a ton of gigs. I'm a ton of big fans.
All right, shut up. We're going on break for 2 songs. So, let's get right to our guest. We got him on the phone right now. Chris York from the Fortean Slip, here to talk about Anthony Cumia and a bunch of other stuff. What's going on, Chris? You here?
Yeah, I'm right here.
All right, we got you, right? We got him? Cool.
Yep.
All right. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Not too bad. You had asked me to come on to kind of touch base on the whole Anthony Cumia debacle.
Yeah,
I would call it.
the
biggest fucking mistake in radio history.
Well, and
as far as I'm concerned,
it's a mistake that's been made before, and you'd think people would learn their lesson. But I came across you guys. I just want to say, first of all, for our listeners and for you, I really enjoyed your show. It's the kind of thing that's really lacking in whatever kind of mainstream radio. It's actually realistic sounding conversation about interesting shit, man. It's cool.
Thanks.
So yeah, to my listeners, check the Fortean Slip out. They got all their stuff in order on YouTube. Very well organized. Very nice show. You guys do it out of your house, right?
Actually, we all met online. So we started doing it. It's almost been a year now. We started it last August, I think it was, when we made our first recording.
Okay.
And I had just gotten fed up with all the bullshit, because we all met through the subject of Bigfoot.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And we were all just completely fed up with the drama and the bullshit and just the general, just schoolyard bullshit, I guess you could call it, that kind of went on with it. Not to mention the fact that 97% of what you see out there for videos, pictures, that people portray as evidence is just horseshit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to wade through miles and miles of fucking crap.
So when you're talking about your frustration, you're talking about mostly within the community that researches Bigfoot.
Right.
Yeah.
And also with the radio shows.
Okay.
So my idea was to create a radio show that wasn't necessarily centered around Bigfoot, because everybody I knew was making a show about Bigfoot. They were doing the Bigfoot podcast.
Okay.
I was like, how much fucking traction can you get with that?
Right.
I mean, really, it's one topic. So I wanted to go a much wider array of topics. And, I had met Steve. Steve was, Steve can find out shit. I mean, he's just a normal, everyday guy, but you give him a topic, you give him something to investigate, and that son of a bitch will find out something about it.
I've got a friend like that, too. Yeah, it's a good guy to have around, yeah.
So I wanted him on board, and then Matt and I just clicked as far as our sense of humor. So we started doing it, and here it is a year later, and we're still doing it.
Well, I mean, and it's three of you guys all in different parts of the country, right?
Yeah, I'm in Maine, Steve's out of Pennsylvania, and Matt's out of Oklahoma.
And you guys talk live and record it.
We talk together. We get live. We record it. I cut the audio down, because I usually wind up starting a little early and going a little over. And sometimes because I do all the production work for my show.
Okay.
So sometimes there'll be mouse clicks, and I'll get rid of all that.
Oh, I see. All right. Well, that's cool, man. You might as well if you're recording it. Yeah, that's cool.
Right. And I generally don't have guests or callers or anything like that. So it's just us talking about whatever we want to talk about. We do a news segment, and then we cut out. I've tried to keep it simple. At some point, I might like to do a longer style format, but I do that. We do the news once a week, where we pick out a bunch of different wacky news stories. Yeah. It's usually a whole bunch of bullshit.
I listen to a bunch of those. They're very entertaining. The Fortean news, yeah.
So I mean, that's what we've been doing now, like I said, for about a year. And I've always been a fan of Opie and Anthony.
Yeah.
I won't say always. I didn't start listening to them back when they first got together. But, I mean, since I've been doing this, I haven't. But
I've been listening to them for 10 years.
Okay.
And I woke up the other day on, what was it, Friday.
Friday.
I woke up, because I work in the middle of the night right now. I do a paper route. So I'll sleep early in the morning, I'll get up.
Sure.
So I woke up later in the day, and Steve messages me, and he says, yeah, you're, one half of your favorite radio duo got fired.
No,
no way.
I felt like I got punched in the stomach for a minute. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, this like shock.
Well, I thought he was full of shit. I thought he found something that I was just like, no way. I'm like, I have to look into this. So he sent me a link to the news story, and it didn't say in the news story that he was fired. But then he said to me, no, dude, he's fired.
Yeah, no, it was pretty much, it was known before it was official. It was, the word was out, yeah. I had this, I did the same thing. Go ahead, sorry.
And then I went to Twitter. And then it was like, oh my God, like my fucking world fell apart. Like I've been a religious listener of theirs for 10 years. Like I've paid for the service. I've dealt with those dumb motherfuckers on the phone every time I have to re-up my fucking subscription.
Sure.
Sorry, and a second, please. I can't believe it.
Yeah. I actually became a fan in the past few years through watching Louis C.K. videos, and led to an episode of Opie and Anthony that they both took a break, and Louis C.K. hosted the entire thing, and it was fucking hilarious. And so that was kind of how I found out about it was through him, but I got really interested in them because they're such huge proponents of the First Amendment, and because they're not careful about what they say, they end up in a shitload of interesting discussions on that topic, you know, and that was kind of what hooked me in. So if people out there don't know the Opie and Anthony show, it is just off the wall, dirty, disgusting, hilarious. Nothing's against the rules or anything, it's just totally anywhere, but it can be intelligent, in a lot of ways too. So I thought it was pretty much a one-of-a-kind radio operation, in my estimation. But yeah, you know what? I want to make a side note right here before we go too much further. If you look at the Fortean, am I saying that right? Fortean, yeah. Yeah. So if you look at the Fortean Slip, you guys have some pretty cool artwork as on most of your videos. The picture of you guys at a table. The one thing that I had a problem with was there's a lot of things on the table there. There's bourbon, cigarettes, Bigfoot field guide, and shit like that. But I don't see any weed anywhere.
I actually told the guy that does the artwork for us, Dread Fund, who's a great guy. Yeah. I mean, we love Dread Fund, and if you're listening and you want to check out some really awesome artwork,
it is good art. Yeah, I mean, he's a good guy, good artist.
Dread Fund posts all of his stuff on YouTube at youtube.com/DREDFUNN. And he does time-lapse drawings, and he talks over it. So he'll talk about like what he's doing as it's going through the time lapse of the drawing, and like he does all our artwork. But I mean, I think I had mentioned something about that, and I think he left it out. I think it was a creative decision on his part. Yeah. But I mean, you listen to any of my shows, I'm not like I'm not hiding it.
Please. I'm sorry, man. I have somebody calling in and people walking in the studio. So you are confirming that you are high when you're doing the show, yeah?
Oh, fuck yeah.
All right, good. Because for whatever reason, I get disappointed when when people I like don't smoke weed. So I'm glad to hear that. It's an immature fucking thing I do.
It's just who I am. And when I said recently, to someone, I think it was Matt and Steve, I think we were talking after one of the shows, because they got a little angry with me for something that I had said over the air quite recently.
About weed? See, I'm big into civil disobedience. I just like to talk about it. Like,
no, not about that. About something in another matter. And I told him. I said, listen. I said, here's the deal. It was only a matter of time before my personal life came over on the air, like it already does.
And not to cut you off, we do have a caller waiting. Just if that caller's out there, just please hang on 1 second, and we got somebody who wants to join the conversation. But go on.
But yeah, I mean, it's just, it is what it is. I'm not going to make apologies for who I am. It's who I am, and that's who I put out there. So I don't want to come across as a fucking phony.
No.
When it comes to that shit.
And every episode of the Sunday Evening Overdose, as my fans know, the promise that I make is I'll drink an entire pint of Jim Beam and smoke a blunt during the show. So that's my promise to my listeners. Total.
You got to set the bar high.
Yeah, my producer's chiming in. Just total disclosure there. So anyways, let's fucking get into it. What do you think went on? I'm thinking there was some inside kind of shit. I'm thinking some tensions were going on.
As far as right now, as far as like Opie and Anthony themselves are concerned, I know Opie posted on Twitter earlier today that he's floored about what happened and that he has a meeting with SiriusXM on Tuesday. And that's all he's posted on Twitter.
Well, aren't they scheduled to be on the air tomorrow morning?
As far as I know, but I'm waiting to find out. Like, my subscription right now is tentative. It's based on, like, what gets said. Like, Anthony's Twitter was wiped. That thing is clean. There's nothing on there now.
It's back to January.
And
yeah.
So I don't know if there is some type of negotiation to bring him back. I don't know what the deal is. Anthony was saying that he's going to fire up the live from the compound and start doing that from his house.
Well, he's got a lot of he's got a lot of options.
I've actually been on his live from the compound show.
Oh, cool! You called in or what?
Yeah, when he was doing the Charlie Sheen shit. I called in.
Nice. Oh, you know what?
I actually cut on.
I've listened to that, and I just don't remember, but, kind of, a lot of it blurs together, but I've listened to fucking hundreds of hours of that shit.
But he said he's going to fire it up this week, and he's going to let it all out.
Well, that's going to be some very entertaining radio, and for those of you who aren't sure why this is a big deal, it's not just that, like, we're fans of the show. This is the show that sticks up for everyone else's fucking right to say what they want to say. This is the show that tries to promote a culture of free thought and expression, even if it does end a lot of times in a lot of vulgarity and degenerate whatever. But it's a show that is out there exercising and really flexing the First Amendment. And this isn't not a First Amendment issue. Obviously, it's a company that fired an employee.
It is a First Amendment issue. If you ask me, it is. Okay?
Well,
the guy said something on his own personal Twitter account.
Yeah.
And what happened to him happened on his own personal time. So basically, now you're going to be held accountable for everything that you do outside of work as well as at work, online as well as offline. So anything you say, anything you do, free thought is gone. Thought policing is starting. Fucking George Orwell was right.
That's going on 100%. I guess I just mean in a direct, literal sense. There wasn't any legal action taken. This was a company that made a choice. So I just mean it's not any kind of official oppression. However, you could.
Well, when people can get fired for their speech, just their speech alone, for just saying he didn't even say anything racist, if you ask me.
I mean, well, first of all, maybe not. Maybe, I mean, you know what he meant. He likes to do that shit.
Not in this case. He said racist shit. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. I mean, my only point is like, you know, he meant to have the edge there. He didn't overtly come out and say anything, but you know what he meant to have the edge there, and that shouldn't even be the discussion because it's like he should be allowed to say what he wants to say on his Twitter. And in my opinion, if I was, you know, in charge of the decision at Sirius, I would look at this as, wow, you know, how many fucking listeners are we going to have on Monday listening to this guy try to explain himself, you know? And you leave the fucking guy on so that the discussion happens, you know? This is it's censorship, it's corporate censorship, and in a certain way, it all ties together, and it almost is the same as the government because, you know, the sponsors for Sirius and XM are many of the same sponsors that, you know, influence our government with giant lobbies and shit that are part of the structure of our society dealing with the FCC anyways, and they're just finding a way to you know, exert their influence in a private company. So, I mean, it all kind of does fucking tie together into one big yacht club. So I don't know. To me, I don't know. I think they have the right to do it if they want, right? I mean, it's a shitty decision.
I think anything that you do in that case, outside of your job, because what's next? You know, you're working, you get your friggin' whoever dumbass that works at Walmart tweets something fucking stupid because he's drunk one night, and you know, all of a sudden he's fired the next day because that's, you know, he said something racist, or you know, he said something that was deemed offensive, or you know, whatnot. How far does it go?
No, I totally agree, and I don't agree with firing somebody because of a thing they say, maybe even in anger, you know, and a thing that could be interpreted one way or another, or involves, you know, it's an opinion. It doesn't hurt anyone. It might hurt someone's feelings, I guess, the way they interpret it, but, you know, he didn't incite violence. He didn't do anything, you know, overtly harmful to anyone. So, yeah, I totally agree. It's I don't like to see a culture and an environment fostered where this kind of shit happens, and especially fucking 2 days after the shit took place, you know. They don't even take any fucking time to look it over. For anybody who's just has no fucking clue what we're talking about, Anthony Cumia of the Opie and Anthony show was taking pictures on his phone in Times Square. It looked to me, I mean, it looked like he was taking a picture of the lady on purpose. You know, he says he's randomly snapping pictures. Whatever, not the point. He takes a picture of a lady, which is fucking, like it or not, it's legal. It might seem like a dick thing to do. It doesn't matter. Whatever. That's how it is. You're out on the sidewalk. So she, I guess, you know, attacked him and punched him a bunch of times. And he tweeted a bunch of things that were interpreted as racist. And I think, I mean, there was one that was like, it was like ambiguous. He just said, they are animals or something like that. But you know from his past what he's talking about, you know. And he usually doesn't say real racist things like that. He says, you know, he's got problems with the socioeconomic structure and this and that. And, but, you know, I understand why their feelings are hurt, but you don't have the right to never have your feelings hurt. You know, this is the thing. So what? So even if he said something racist, so what? Right? I mean, people do it constantly.
Like I said on my own show, it boils down to me to the Donald Sterling thing. You know, did the guy say something fucking awful? Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
He probably does. He probably has said something awful every day for the past 35 years, and probably most of the people that deal with him know that. Like,
right, but does he deserve to lose his business over it? No.
Well, if people decide to stop buying his product because of that, I mean, then I guess so. You know, but
right, but people didn't have the right to dictate Like, the NBA didn't have the right to dictate. Like, that was a decision that wasn't made by the people, like, purchasing the product.
Right. No. I know what you mean. Sure.
Because all those basketball players knew what he was like.
Yeah.
All of them fucking knew.
Or
his reputation was well known.
And if they didn't know,
So
they could probably guess. You know, I mean,
right. And I think it boils down to that. It's that type of a situation. You can't take people's livelihoods away just because, you know. I mean, if people don't want to go buy their shit, or don't want to fucking buy into their shit, or don't want to watch their show, or don't want to buy Sirius, then fucking hey, that's your choice. But I guarantee you that plenty of people want to fucking pay for the service and have him there.
And you know, that's why to me it's a dumb business move, and it just reeks of this like something is going on inside the company. You know, when Sirius and XM combined, everybody knew there was going to be a lot of fucked up tension between you know, Howard Stern, and not to mention other shows, you know, but I would guarantee that, you know, they probably have their camps, you know, of people that stick up for one side or the other within the company. And, you know, I would just guess this was an insider fucking thing, and the number of people that didn't like them got to be more than the number that did, you know, and
well, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, because I know Anthony was tweeting every single cancellation picture that everyone sent in. Like, it was just slew of cancellations on screen.
No doubt there's going to be a shitload of cancellations, because the fans understand. Opie and Jim Norton and the rest of them, they're not going to keep... They might have to keep going for a minute, but they're not going to keep... The show is a brand. It's the Opie and Anthony show. Now they have to go somewhere else. You know, Sirius... That's why I was really surprised that there wasn't just some kind of broad cancellation or something, you know? The whole thing is kind of strange, because the show's branded. It's a package deal. Nobody's gonna listen to fucking Opie by himself. I'm sorry, but it's just not gonna happen.
I've listened to the show with just Opie and Jimmy. The show with just Opie and Jimmy is entertaining. The show is not Opie and Jimmy.
Right? Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
The show is Opie, Anthony, Jimmy. At this point, it's not even Opie Anthony. It's Opie, Anthony, Jimmy.
To be honest, I probably wouldn't listen to the show without Jim Norton. Honestly, I mean, it's kind of this perfect tree. You know, I like the show, but I wouldn't listen to it as much as I do, I should say, without Jim Norton. I mean, it's a perfect radio trio. It's a great operation.
Have you ever had a chance to see him live?
No, I haven't been a fan long enough. I've probably only been a hardcore fan for about a year and a half or something. I
saw him live. I saw him live at Foxwoods, and I sat right front. I was right up by the stage, and I saw him in Boston when he did his last live taping. And he's amazing.
You're talking about Jim Norton?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've kept up with his stand-up over the years. A lot of very funny shit. Jim Norton is a very... He's the kind of comedian and the kind of artist in general that is into like introspection and kind of like self-examination, and he's sort of putting his guts out there for everybody to pick apart. And yeah, he's a good artist and a good comedian for sure.
Yeah.
But so I've
enjoyed his shit.
Going forward, here's what I'm imagining is that whatever they have to do legally, you know, they're gonna do. I'd be very interested to see, because Opie's not a pussy. If he's like contractually obligated to do anything on the radio, he'll make a fucking huge spectacle out of this. You know, I mean, he's gonna do shit on purpose to ruin the show, all kinds of shit. You know, you know what? We've had somebody calling in a few times. They might want to ask you a question. Let me take this caller real quick. We're talking about Opie and Anthony show. Hey, who's this? You're on the Sunday Evening Overdose.
Hey, this is Mr. MC, an artist from the group Dose Stereo. I had a question about something artist related with you.
Okay. Can our guest hear our caller? Can you hear him or?
I can. He's kind of weird, but
Okay.
Like, I can kind of hear it, but I can't. I might have to have you translate.
I might, if I have to. Go ahead. What do we got, Mr. MC?
Okay, so I've seen videos and seen one of your stage shows before, and I was just wondering, you had a really cool concept and structure to it, but during like your years of artistry and shit, how did you go about like getting that stage show that way? Like, what were the practices, and what made you want to do so much stuff live as you were playing, and what was the practice behind that?
Oh, okay. I guess this is a call about my musical act. Sorry, hang on one second. Our guest, Chris York from the Fortean Slip on YouTube. Yeah, no, I have a thing called Robot Hilarious. It came from going to a lot of hip-hop shows where guys put on a laptop and press play and then rap, and then there's like 16-bar breaks where no one's rapping and they're just kind of like looking around or kind of like whatever, dancing or some stupid shit. And, you know, it just led me to an overall philosophy while I was doing hip-hop that it doesn't have to be this sort of like minimal effort kind of deal, that's okay, and I've enjoyed a lot of shows like that, but it's more entertaining to see a guy working himself to the bone, like somebody like Dose One and Gel, you know, of themselves, who are just going nuts and handling 6 tasks at a time and doing all kinds of complicated shit. You know, I just like to see artists work hard. When I go see a concert, I like to see people sweat and fucking pull shit off that amazes me. That's where I developed that philosophy. And I guess that caller dropped while I was doing that explanation. And he's probably... we have a problem with people who call that aren't listening to the show, so they have no fucking clue what we're talking about. So, so that's just to explain that, because I'm a nice fucking guy. He's calling back.
That's why I don't have callers.
Yeah. He's calling back. We'll try to let him know somehow that he can call after the guest segment if he wants to talk more about music. Anyways, where we're going is, you know, just to kind of wrap up the Anthony Cumia thing. I agree with you. You know, it is a free speech issue, and to me, it's like what I was saying, because of, you know, the same corporations that affect our politics are influencing the execs at Sirius XM to make these decisions anyways. You could call it corporate censorship or government censorship. I would argue at this point, it's pretty much the same fucking thing. So we just see another guy who, you know, regardless of what you think about him philosophically or whatever, he's an honest motherfucker on the radio who sparks off a lot of intellectual discussion, and, you know, and like I said, he flexes the First Amendment in a way that needs to be done, so it, you know, so it's not completely eroded. Any final thoughts on any of that?
No, it's, you know, like I said, it's a free speech issue to me. He said something on his own personal page about something that happened to him. It happened in Times Square. So her having an issue with him taking pictures in Times Square, yeah, okay.
Well, that's a personal thing. Like, you don't like your picture taken, fine. You know what? And in my opinion, then say, hey, could you not do that?
If you don't like your picture taken, you better not step outside your house.
Well, but
you're on camera more often than you're not.
Yeah. No, and believe me, we could get into the surveillance grid at some point too. But it's like, yeah, the issue to me, yeah, you can absolutely take a picture of anyone you want, and this is a big issue with law enforcement now. But you know, you can absolutely take picture, video, whatever in public areas, 100%. But also, just from a person-to-person standpoint, you know, you can also walk up and say, hey, do you mind? I don't want to have my picture taken. And you know, if the guy decides to say, hey, fuck you, you know, yeah, he's a dick, but okay, then that's it. You can't really fucking attack the person and they're not doing anything illegal, you know? I mean, it's right. We're talking about personal issues and legal issues. They're totally separate from, you know what I mean? Just, she would have acted reasonably. He probably would have acted reasonably in the first fucking place, you know?
Yep.
So...
It, like I said, it to me, it's a free speech issue. I don't think he should have been fired for it. They could have fired him for way more racist things that he said in the past.
Oh, please. He has said stuff on the air. I mean, I've never heard white people say nigger more times than I've heard on the Opie and Anthony show. And with black guys sitting there in a tongue-in-cheek, in a fun fucking, you know, like at a time...
Patrice O'Neal used to sit in that studio all the time.
Oh, yeah. No,
and those motherfuckers, it happened.
Well, because...
So anybody who wants to fucking bitch about it, it happened.
No. Constantly, and then constantly, you know, they invented racial slurs on that show. They did sketches about... or, you know, they did bits out live on the street to see if cabs would pick up a guy in a Nazi uniform or a black guy first, you know?
Yeah.
You could go on for days about the shit that they've done that was way fucking worse. What happens now is, you know, he puts it on Twitter, the whole online world goes nuts, you know, and people are into boycotting now, which is good. But when people do it unintelligently, it's bad. Excuse me. And, you know, fucking sponsors are worried about shit like that, especially when it deals with race. You know, you could start a mass campaign that really hurts the sponsors, you know, pretty easily nowadays with social networking. So, you know, I mean, it's the fact that it happened on Twitter.
Yeah, but how many people have they actually hurt, though?
No, they haven't hurt anyone. They haven't hurt anyone.
That's the question you really got to ask yourself: is how many of these people have actually been hurt by it? Imus did his fucking thing. CBS, what was it? CBS fired him. Somebody else picked him fucking right up.
Yeah. No, of course.
ABC picked him right up.
And the Don Imus thing was like, oh my God, the guy made a stupid joke. He thought it would be funny. It's a fucking phrase that he heard in popular music and movies and shit. You know, he thought it was fucking, like, you know, entertaining for him being an old white guy to say it. Like, give me a fucking break. That was another one that was just shut the fuck up. Who cares? You know, The guy, that's another thing, even if he is racist, don't listen to him then, you know? The truth, let the fucking argument happen, let the truth win out. If you believe in your philosophy, you know, let it stand as it is. But, you know, that's not the way we operate in this country. We try to fucking force each other to behave the way we want.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the theme of this episode. We talked about the whole Hobby Lobby shit and all that bullshit, which I don't want to go over again. But, you know what? I think we're going to probably move away. Do you have a few minutes to hang out?
Sure.
Yeah, we got, by the way, if you're just tuning in, Chris York. He does a show called the Fortean Slip up in Maine. I got another caller. I think he wants to talk about Bigfoot. He called in earlier on the show. But again, we have Patrick from Berwyn. What's going on, Patrick?
You guys I thought that guy was a Bigfoot guy.
Yeah, he does Bigfoot stuff.
Like what?
All right, we'll talk. Is that all your call is about? You just want us to talk about Bigfoot?
Well, I want to know what he does. What does he do? Does he take pictures?
The caller, if you can't hear him, he's asking, what is your experience in the Bigfoot research field? Do you do any field investigations? Do you go out and do anything? Or are you mostly a researcher?
To be honest, I'm mostly just a fan. I've been out to a few sites. There was a sighting here in Maine that I went out with a couple of guys on an expedition there for a night. Dax Rushlow, who's on Bigfoot Bounty, I went out with him, and Bill Brock. And there was another guy there too. I can't remember his name. And I went to the Sierra Kill site, or what is known popularly, I guess you could say, as the Sierra Kill site up in California.
What was this, Sierra Kill site?
Yeah, I've been to that site.
What is that? What's the deal with that?
And I can't remember exactly what year. I think it was 2012 or... I'd have to look now at this point. So the details, elude me. But a man by the name of Justin Smeha claims to have shot and killed at least one Bigfoot up at this site.
Yeah, he went on. He was on Art Bell talking about it, I think. Yeah.
And he passed a polygraph.
What is
body was ever recovered.
Sorry to interrupt you again. What is the name of the case so I can just post it to our Facebook page?
The name of the place?
Yeah, the what kill site?
The Sierra kill site.
Sierra, okay.
Sierra. But yeah, I've been up there. I've looked around that site. Like I said, I've never done any major research. I've been to a few sites. I've met a bunch of people. I've been to the Bigfoot Museum in California. I met Mike Rugg. I met the entire cast of Finding Bigfoot. And not so much like the people that came in for the meet and greet. Like I actually sat with them for a little bit afterwards. And I talk to people in the field all the time because that's where I started. And there's all kinds of people that I know who are into it.
Mm-hmm. Have you been a part of any sightings or anything?
No, I've never seen anything. I've never witnessed anything. I'm just a fan of it. I was one of those people when I was a kid. I saw the Patterson-Gimlin film. Or footage, whatever you want to call it, on TV one time.
Yeah, that's the classic Bigfoot walking past and looking over his right shoulder at the camera.
Or her right shoulder.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that scared the shit out of me, so I was hooked. But...
Yeah, no, and that's been some of the most controversial footage overall, too. I guess the guy that shot that footage was in the process of filming a fictional movie about Bigfoot at the time. Did you ever read that?
No, there's been... I've heard so many fucking different stories, and there's Bob Hieronymus who swears he was in the fucking suit and had the walk, and... There's all kinds of bullshit.
And then nobody's really been able to disprove the footage from an analytical standpoint, though. Nobody can...
I can tell you from personal experience that I have friends whom I trust that have told me that they have seen this thing.
No, believe me,
and that they can't in any way make anybody else believe what they've seen.
Right.
But that they can't wipe it from their fucking memory.
I have no doubt in my mind that this phenomenon is real. It's one of a bunch of things to me that, like the name of your show, the guy Charles Fort, who compiled those texts. I have the same kind of problem with science kind of just not including a shitload of evidence that doesn't fit its current climate or whatever. And Bigfoot...
But the problem with Bigfoot, though, is that a lot of the evidence
is anecdotal.
Eyewitness accounts, anecdotal. It doesn't hold up. It doesn't hold any weight. But then you have, hey, gorillas for the longest. There were certain gorillas, and they're still finding fucking apes.
No, and at some point,
people just talked about.
At some point, doesn't the sheer mass of the anecdotal evidence have some fucking weight too? I mean, it's like how many different cultures.
Well, that's one thing that Jane Goodall said, is that due to the immense amount of sighting reports, she's like she had said at one point, there's a really good chance that there is a bipedal primate living in North America.
Yeah, I mean, I have researched it a lot, not in a serious way, but in a getting stoned on YouTube way, and also as a kid, before the internet. For those of you who were born before 1988 or something, might remember the library and shit. You know, this was a thing I read about a lot as a kid. And, you know, every Native American culture has, you know, a belief that ranges from a claim that they have an ongoing relationship with, you know, the whatever they call them, the brothers of the trees or some shit, you know, and you know, or just having their own the forest people, right, and their own myths and encounters, and then range from, you know, other tribes that warn again, you know, to stay away from it, and that it's a very evil thing or whatever, you know. I mean, it's interpreted in all kinds of different ways, but it's there, and it's there in almost every fucking culture for how many thousands of years over the history of the world, in so many different places, pretty much anywhere where there's places to hide. So, to me, we could go on for weeks as to whether it's a physical population that somehow just is amazing at staying hidden, or if it's some sort of mass, you know, some sort of mass, I don't want to say hallucination, but like, you know, some trick of the mind that for whatever reasons happens the same way in a lot of minds. Or is it something interdimensional or paranormal? But to me, the phenomenon happens. It's real. It happens. I've had my own experience that I thought of as paranormal for a long time, and ended up actually, when I got more into Bigfoot research, kind of was the only thing that made sense for what happened to us. Which I think I told that story Monday night on the Monday Night Drunk Cast, if anybody was listening. But I mean, I'm all in, man. I just I'm interested in. It's another one of these things that it's like, it's so prevalent. Almost, it's another thing like ghosts. Almost everybody's got a story. My cousin said they saw this. My fucking whatever, you know, and it just nobody can get their fingers wrapped around it. It can't be proven still scientifically. There's just this constant disappointment anytime there seems like there might be new revelations in hard evidence and anything. It's this really interesting thing. It's this elusive thing that just keeps persisting in eyewitness accounts and folklore and shit. But you know, to me, that's the issue. What is it? Where do you sit? What do you think the actual? Do you think we're dealing with a physical animal or something more paranormal?
Personally, I would tend to say that it's a physical animal.
Okay.
I mean, just when you eliminate the fucking Occam's razor or whatever the fuck you want to call it there, it's probably just a fucking bipedal primate.
And do you envision...
But here's the thing. What I say to a lot of my friends and a lot of people, and I piss a lot of people off when I say this, because they're, they've been in the community for a long time, and, you know, they have their certain beliefs on the subject. We don't know anything about it. Nothing. Like, we know dick. Like, what do we have? A couple of fucking footprints that might be good. Maybe a couple of things of footage. Like, the Freeman footage I kind of like. I've yet to see anybody, like, fully debunk that, where I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fucking fake.
Which one are we talking about there?
The Freeman footage.
The Freeman footage. I'll probably recognize it if I see it. I'm just want to post it for our listeners.
Yeah, but the problem with the Freeman footage is that he got caught hoaxing Bigfoot tracks. But he swears up and down, or he swore up and down, I think he's dead now, that the video was the real thing. And it looks pretty good, but, you know, hey, ultimately we don't know anything about him. And for anybody to come out and say that definitively we know anything about this creature, they're wrong. And you've got people like Matthew Johnson saying that they cloak. You've got, people saying that they habituate with them.
Oh yeah, there's Native Americans that claim that, you know, that they've had an ongoing relationship for many, many generations.
Right, and I don't know what to believe. I've been a firm stand on the fence type of guy with this subject for a really long time. Like, I believe that there's something out there. I know too many people who have seen something.
And it's another thing.
You know,
Once you get into it, I mean, fuck. There's people everywhere. There's so many. That's what I'm saying. The weight of the anecdotal evidence is just, it's overwhelming. I mean, it's up there with anything, with UFOs, which is another thing that I feel like is pretty much right in front of your eyes. And that's one that there's so many videos and fiction. You know, it's just, you know, it's not included in mainstream culture, so people are uncomfortable with it. But I agree. It's a very.
I like all the topics. I mean, like I said, my show is, you know, I try to cover all the bases. We go into UFOs. We've gone into the Mothman. We've gone into Bigfoot. We've gone into, you know, we go all over the place. We try to keep it lighthearted. We try to make it fun. I mean, it is. We've all three of us love the fact that we have an outlet to just say whatever the fuck we want when it comes to these subjects once a week. And that's what we do. We do a once a week, half-hour fucking show. Basically.
No, and that's what
sometimes we run a little.
I really like that about your show is, you know, most of the radio shows that you get that deal in paranormal and strange topics, you know, you're going to have to listen to George Norrie or somebody boring or something. You know, it's like a lot of really straight-laced, very quiet, just kind of boring guys talk about this stuff. It's nice to have some guys that are entertaining doing this genre. You know, again, a plug for my listeners, Chris York from the Fortean Slip. Very entertaining, strange radio for you guys if you want to check it out. The Fortean Slip.
Yeah.
And YouTube is the place to go for you guys, right?
Yeah, that's where we put all of our stuff. I have a blog for it too. I mean, if you think it's the ForteanSlip.blogspot.com.
Cool. Okay.
But and everything there too. Well, you can all the links to the YouTube are there, so you can get to the channel. But I mean, we wanted to have an outlet, and we wanted to be able to say what we wanted. And a lot of people gave me shit for a long time. Said you can't do it that way. You can't do a show about these topics where you're bashing on people and you're swearing and you're cursing and you're talking about really dirty things. And I'm like, the fuck, I can't. You know, so
exactly. I know. Yeah, you can't. Why not? Well, because no one else does. Well, fuck them. Who cares?
So, and I've proven them all wrong. Like, they all said that I couldn't, and here I am. You know, I mean, it's a year later. I'm still doing it on YouTube. I have grown like huge. Like, I'm not, you know, I don't get thousands of views every time.
You guys are doing a lot better. Just looking at the views on your channel, you're doing a lot better than a lot of unsponsored, you know, DIY broadcasts are doing. You got decent views. There's 500, there's 1,000, whatever. You know, I mean, whatever. People are going there.
We have one episode that's like reaching. It's almost at 10,000 views, and it's not getting a lot of total views. Like, people are just clicking on it. But you know, every once in a while, somebody listens to it, and I get another subscriber.
So just to kind of. We're going to have to wrap it up in a few minutes. Not right this second, but I want to hit a few other topics with you.
Yeah.
Just before we go, have you seen anything lately? I've seen a bunch of stuff. There's been a lot of ghost pictures and paranormal shit going on. In your, covering the stuff you guys cover, have you seen anything particularly compelling lately from the paranormal world?
No.
No?
And I never will.
No? Oh, okay. Let's talk about that.
When it comes to ghosts, this is my take on ghosts. I don't buy it.
Don't buy what?
And I don't buy that they're around.
Well, in what you mean in terms of, like, because it's just, let's make a separation here. I'm someone who believes more in there being, you know, there's a scientific explanation, and even if it seems metaphysical or spiritual now, it's because we haven't advanced to the point to explain it scientifically. But that doesn't make it any less magical or interesting. But, well, let me just make one distinction. So, a lot of people say they don't believe in ghosts or paranormal activity or this and that. Now, are you talking about you don't believe in disembodied spirits, or you don't believe in, like, say, you know, an event replaying on a electromagnetic field due to some sort of, like, you know, atmospheric conditions plus the right receptor, some kind of scientific...
Here's the thing. This is my take on it. We're all made up of matter. All matter vibrates. We, as human beings, are very habitual creatures. We do a lot of the same things, the same way, in the same place, every day. I do believe that due to harmonic resonance, that there is leftover vibrational energy that might cause people to think that they are seeing a spirit, a ghost, a paranormal event, whatnot. But I don't buy into spirits interacting in the way that people say that they do. I've yet to see a ghost hunter show that's made me go, oh my God, I'm a believer.
Well, I let you know, I 100% agree with what you said here. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I think that most paranormal events are somehow they've been recorded into the, you know, electromagnetic field or whatever, and are able to be perceived as sort of like the replay of like an imprint of a fucking event, like a VHS tape, you know. But it's not.
We're surrounded by crystal.
Well,
I mean, we're surrounded.
There's all kinds of conductors for information. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So and all it takes is just, you know, an attunement to a vibrational energy. As far as I'm concerned, and I don't think that it's anything, you know, supernatural or magical. Now, take that out of the equation. Do I believe that there are some type of paranormal events that might happen spiritually with people? Yes.
All right, so I mean, me and you are pretty much 100% in agreement here. Then, but anyways, go on. You don't buy that there's actual spiritual interaction.
I don't buy that there's any, like, in this plane of existence, like something's gonna close my door, or, you know, I'm going to hear somebody whisper that was, you know, and it means they're talking to me. No, I might hear something that somebody said over and over and over again for years in this spot.
Yeah, or something that somebody said that had, like, so much emotion to it that it was given some other weight on another realm that we can't perceive all the time, but you're able to at a certain point for some reason. Yeah. And that's what I think. There was an interesting case. I always tell people about this. Years ago, there was a bed and breakfast. I'm not going to remember the name, but the story is what's important. There was a bed and breakfast in Wisconsin that had a haunting, and supposedly a lady had been pushed down the stairs 75 years, 100 years before, whatever, and the apparition of her body laying at the bottom of the stairs would appear. And this is another one that had been reported by 100 different people, and it was like pretty well agreed, hey, this is a decent sighting, you know. And they eventually and they also had a thing with the, you know, there's this famous in paranormal stuff is the blood stain that will never go away, and this is, you know, hundreds of stories about that. But this is another place where there was supposedly a blood stain, and they would clean it and it would come back. So whatever. So they ended up redoing the floor, and they lowered the floor by about 8 inches, and they had gutted that whole, you know, whatever had been in there 100 years ago, and put a new tile floor in and shit. So new staircase, new floor. Sightings continued, but now the apparition was like 10 inches above the floor to where that, you know, where the old floor had been. So that clicked to a lot of paranormal researchers. Hey, this is not a spirit laying on the floor. This is an imprint of an event that for whatever reason was recorded somehow and is replaying. And that helps to illustrate it for those listeners who may not be kind of steeped in this kind of talk normally. But, and that seems to be the case with so much paranormal stuff that's legitimate and more often cited. It seems to be, you know, a replay more than an interaction. And yeah, I agree. The culture of people who prey on, you know, on people based on their belief that they can interact with the spirit world is pretty fucking out of control. It's pretty flawed, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting world, that's for damn sure. But I don't think we'll ever understand it.
Well, so do you not believe, though, that, so if you have that opinion, it would be possible to catch some kind of apparition on camera, right?
I don't know.
Do you not, you know...
Are those vibrational energies, I mean, like, I don't know. I've yet to see it. Like, show me it. I'll make my judgment on it.
You know,
I don't know.
Admittedly, it is hard to find really compelling stuff, you know. I mean, again, it's another thing where everybody has their story. Everybody, especially with ghosts, everybody has their story.
Well, a lot of time there's so much false information.
Sorry, our producer. He can't hear you.
Yeah,
our
you
producer's
can hear me,
talking.
But a lot of times there's so much false information that's put out there that, you know what I mean, if something does happen,
Yeah, he's
it's
saying
like the
there's...
boy who cried wolf thing, you know what I mean?
Right.
And you don't know what to believe.
He's saying there's so much false information put out there that, you know, it's most people, it's not worth even looking through. It's, you know, you have no idea what the fuck's going on. Which is true, especially since it's been easy to fucking Photoshop a specter.
Well, yeah, and that's the other reason, like I said, like, and it goes back to why I started doing my show. You know, I started doing my show because I was sick and tired of seeing all the bullshit. And you wade through all this bullshit. So why not just make a show that's basically bullshit? Like, we bullshit. We talk about it frankly. We give real and honest opinions about it. But we don't make the stuff out to be real that's not real. We don't try to puff anything up. We just give it to it like it is. There's how we basically reviewed the Russian Yeti Discovery show without even watching it. I think I fucking basically held up a crystal ball and said, this is what they're going to show.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's not hard to fucking guess with that shit. I mean, how many years are we going to have these stations run these shows with the, you know, and they're basically just running an hour-long commercial about why this topic shouldn't be fucking looked into anymore, because the people on these, like, TV shows are absolutely ridiculous, you know, and even if they're not, they make them look stupid. They never find anything. There's nothing, you know, it's usually...
Yeah, how finding Bigfoot has stayed on the air for this long. I haven't got...
Well, because people watch it from the other perspective. They just watch it to laugh at the people that are on the show.
I don't get it, but I'll tell you what, I sat there at the Bigfoot Museum, and it wasn't like a huge line, but there were people that just, they were there just to have, you know, signatures from those people, and they loved them.
Well, you know, fucking Katy Perry sells out stadiums. What do you want?
Yeah, no, and that's a far, you know, bigger, you know, audience than...
No, I'm just saying, like, it's not a reflection on the value of the entertainment, you know?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, I hear exactly what you're saying. You know, I couldn't stand it anymore, so I wanted to bitch about it, and I wanted to be able to talk frank about it, and I didn't want to have to give a fuck about what anybody thought about what I said. And like I said, I ran into a lot of people saying, no, don't do it. You're going to piss people off. You're going to make people angry. You're going to, you know, make enemies. And yeah, I have.
Good. You know what? Send them my way. We'll fucking we'll run a Jocktober on some of these motherfuckers if Opie and Anthony aren't going to be around.
It's not, you know, it's not any type of radio shows or anything. It's just people. You know, I've run into, you know, just a lot of, and I don't bring in it, and I haven't brought any of that to light on the show. You know, there have been some things that I have brought to the table.
So other people in the community talking shit and having a problem with, oh, you're ruining the credibility of the subject if you say fuck or if you're stoned or some shit. Fuck off. It doesn't...
No, No, it's not about that. It was about one time it was about me calling people out, and there was one time I actually got threatened by somebody. I would call it a threat.
Hey, you know what? If you get any little bit of,
and make me piss my pants.
If you get any little bit of success, if you get any, I mean, and we're talking any tiny amount. If you just poke your head up over the rest of the people that are struggling a fucking inch, yeah, there's going to be people aiming shotguns right at you. I mean, that's just how it is. I fought on. Like, the one thing that I've done is, you know, there was a time where I took to heart what people would comment on my videos. Now when people bitch, I just, like, start saying, hey, it's our newest #1 fan. Welcome to it. Yeah, fuck them. Who cares? I mean...
because I don't give a shit. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I keep getting viewers. I keep, you know, the views on the videos go up. My views per week, per month continue to go up. So I'm obviously doing something right, and I'm going to continue to do it.
Well, so for our listeners, once more, before I let you go, if you want to hear interesting, strange topics, stuff that's not typically discussed in your mainstream radio world, and discussed in a way that's entertaining and realistic and not fucking arrogant and hoity-toity and whatever, check out the Fortean Slip on YouTube. That's Fortean, the Fortean Slip. All right, this has been Chris York. Thank you very much for coming on the show last minute, and I have a feeling this may be the beginning of a beautiful friendship for us.
Yeah, get in touch with me anytime.
All right, man. Thank you very much again, Chris York, the Fortean Slip. We're going to go to a quick break for a couple songs and come back and do another hour or something. And, yeah, once again, thanks to Chris York. I'll be back in 8 minutes. All right, we're coming back. The Sunday evening overdose. Thank you again for hanging out. That was Chris York. Before the fucking music, it was Chris York from the Fortean Slip. Thanks for joining us, Chris. What did I just play? That was Aesop Rock just then, and something else. Fucking I forget. Oh, I played some Tomorrow Kings, Sell Coke to White People, which, you know, I kind of didn't like that song at first because I thought it was fucking kind of, I don't know. Why does it got to be to white people? I know we buy Coke. I don't know. I know we got money, but I don't. But, you know, as a fucking whole, supposedly white people have money. Who's this on Facebook is asking us a question. But anyways, I got to like the song overall. Anyways, I had a friend that it made pretty mad. I had a friend that said, you know, the Tomorrow Kings is a band I really like. And I had a friend that said, you know what? I like it. It's cool. But there's too many anti-white references. And, you know, I don't know. Maybe I should bring that up to those guys. See what the fucking deal is. See if we got some problems. No, but yeah, Tomorrow Kings, Chicago hip hop. Check them out. Awesome live show. Good guys too. Somebody's saying on our Facebook, let's see, is it only a call-in via phone number, or do you have some functionality for a VoIP service like Viber or Skype? What do you think this is, the fucking future? We have a shitty laptop, we have a cell phone, and we're lucky that we fucking have that shit at this point. We all have been drinking for years, smoking weed, fucking losing jobs, ruining relationships, getting arrested. All kinds of shit goes on around here with this crew. We don't have shit like that. Probably could. We don't know that. We're not part of that world. We don't think we deserve it. What do we got here? Can you close that door, please? No. Holy fuck. Are you kidding me? There's people... This is unbelievable. You know, as soon as you try to fucking set something up, people just come out of the woodworks. Fucking, I want to come and fucking jump around in the control room and distract you while you're trying to fucking talk. Holy shit. Totally derailed me. Let's just go to some other shit. Let's talk some aliens and shit like that. Let's get to the good shit. Oh yeah, the guy on our Facebook page. Yeah, no, we don't have that shit, man. You gotta call in. 708-244-8142. 708-244-8142. Call me. Let's talk. We were just talking Bigfoot. I already covered sharks, and our main shit here is sharks, ghosts, and aliens. So it looks like we got to do some ghosts and aliens. So if anybody has, as always, any episode of the Sunday Evening Overdose, you're welcome to call in with your ghost or UFO story, whatever you got. Whatever you want to talk about. I know we had some callers that I missed earlier during the guest segment and whatever. Sorry about that. We don't know how to do a radio show. We don't have fucking software for phones and shit. This is, if we end up doing this successfully, I am going to take a caller here. If we end up doing this successfully, we'll have some better, phone situation. And this will all be really funny to look back on probably. But we got a caller from, in the other fucking room. What's going on, Mark?
No, it's several rooms away, actually, at this point.
Oh, okay. What's going on? Why are you trying to fucking gesture at me and walk in front of me in the studio?
No, I just thought I'd add a little color to the conversation. That's all.
All right. Well, if you must know, I was considering having you on in the after hours segment. Because I haven't finished my bottle of whiskey, and I don't leave a radio show. I don't leave an episode of the Sunday Evening Overdose until I've finished a pint of whiskey and a blunt. So, I might have you in here later, but, not if you're going to fucking be distracting me and shit, right in the middle of what I'm doing here, waving at me and stuff.
No, I'm not doing that anymore. I just, I was encouraged to call in by your father and your engineer.
No, I'm glad you did call in because I'd like to get this out in the open. You've been aching to do some radio.
I miss radio. I did a lot of radio, and I miss doing radio.
Do your radio voice.
I do have a radio voice.
No, do your radio voice. Do it. Do a fucking call sign and just do your radio voice real quick.
Well. But at this point, this is my radio voice.
Yeah.
What?
This is great. No. I can't wait to get you.
Delicious. That's
with that kind of wit and delivery. I just really can't wait to get you in here live. This sounds really.
I wanted to talk about internet service providers.
Fine, go ahead.
Interesting.
Well, no, they suck.
Oh, yeah?
There is a 10-second delay between what I'm saying and what you're hearing, and vice versa.
Oh, I know. I've been meaning to write a letter about that the fucking website that for completely free allows me to stream a fucking full-quality live radio show has a 10-second delay. I'm really pissed off about that, too.
Oh, well, okay, I see your point. But I did find some interesting challenges when I tried to open up a space to work out of. And I had all these people telling me, oh yeah, that's going to be $90 or $110 a month because it's a commercial space. And I ended up getting it for $20 a month. And it's fast as lightning.
The hell are you talking about?
Just internet.
Internet?
Sorry, I don't know.
You're talking about buying internet?
Yeah.
And you're saying you negotiated a better price for your internet?
Well, what I did is I went to my cell phone provider and said, I need internet, and they talked to Comcast. Comcast wanted to charge me $90 a month. I ended up paying $27 a month because Verizon negotiated a better deal because I pay them, way too much for my cell phone bill every month.
No, I'm floored. You just keep going.
Well, that's all I got.
Oh, really?
So what else you want to talk about?
Really
somebody got beat up recently.
Oh, we've got another call.
Wait a second. I don't know what just happened. Wait, Mark Mark is on hold for a minute. Mark, please hold the line. Thank you very much. We got... Hey, Jimmy, turn down your... This is Jimmy from Downers Grove calling in. A lot of people from Downers Grove calling in tonight. It's a real fucking redneck shithole. Turn down your radio, Jimmy from Downers Grove, before we start talking.
I'm out of the room.
Oh, you are? What am I hearing?
Yeah, I just walked out.
This is bullshit.
But I got a ghost story for you.
All right. Wait, Mark was on hold.
Are we not talking about that anymore?
Fucking tell Mark he was on hold. I just put him on hold for a second. He didn't have to fucking hang up. He's 2 rooms away. Yeah, you know, I had people in the fucking studio pissing me off, and then they call in. I dealt with them like they needed to be dealt with.
I was gonna wait, but then someone said, "Just call in. This is stupid."
Yeah, you know what? So people were not enjoying that segment?
No, the people I was with, no.
God, this is frustrating. I thought that was really good. It is good. Trust me. You guys don't listen to enough radio. You don't have the fucking... You don't understand the context. All of you are too unsophisticated to understand how hilarious that was. Now go on.
No, I only took 4 years of radio, so I mean, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
So you're fucking brainwashed. You're going to end up just like some other fucking cheesy jock somewhere. You fucking stay in your radio class. You fucking follow the mainstream path. Look at you.
No, I actually stopped doing radio after high school.
Good.
And then I started recording an album with you. Producing it.
Yeah, all right. I produce your album. Let's go. I'm trying to pretend that, like, you know, we have callers, that we have listeners for this fucking show. 708-244.
Well, that's what I was going to do, but then you called me out by name, and then you called our town Redneck.
Because...
Town, so.
No, but God damn it. That was hilarious. Everybody's really rich in Downers Grove. That's why it was really funny. Nobody... God. And
Who's rich in Downers Grove? I'm not rich in Downers Grove. Who gave out money?
You're not rich. What do you do for a living?
I'm a server.
Yeah, but could you afford your own fucking house in Downers Grove?
No,
exactly.
Not right now.
So you don't live there because of the fucking money you make. Everyone who lives there has plenty of fucking money. That's how you live there. That's not true. That's not true, actually. There's fucking poor people there, too. I'm just saying, overall, it's a rich town, whether or not you're fucking rich.
Right.
But the point is, you called in about ghosts. But what am I pissed off about, anyways?
I don't know. You got pissed off because you put Mark on hold, and then Mark hung up, and...
No, I'm pissed off at you now, but I can't remember why, so why don't you go on with your stupid...
Because I didn't pretend I was an actual caller.
Yeah,
but
that's
you
what it was.
called me by name, so you kind of...
No, this is what I'm trying to explain. No, because my producer puts it on my fucking screen in here because of our sophisticated fucking call-in technology! I saw your fucking name and the town you're from, just like any other professional fucking radio show would have. A fucking producer puts it on my screen, and I see it, and I get to fucking slickly say it. Nobody has to know any of this.
Second-time listener, first-time caller.
All right, Jimmy from Downers Grove calling in. It says on the screen here that you've got a ghost story?
I do have a ghost story.
I would love to hear your ghost story.
Well, this happened about a year ago. A bunch of my friends have witnessed ghosts, and I've been dying to have, like, an experience. Never got to have such experience, so it was hard for me to believe in it.
I've been dying to have a ghost experience. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful.
Fear of the unknown and such. But anyway, or curiosity of the unknown. But I was staying at one of my ex-girlfriend's apartments, and she kept always saying that her house was haunted, blah, 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 her apartment's haunted, yada, yada, yada. And, when people, especially, with girls I'm dating, and they're just, overly dramatic about things, I don't believe them at all.
Tell me about it. Anytime a girl's around and she starts talking, I say, shut up, you fucking bitch. You don't know shit, no matter what.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far. But...
No, you do. You just fucking... Who cares, man? Fucking... Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Bitches. Motherfucking cunts.
Bitches. Okay. Anyway.
We're guys.
I'm...
Will you tell your fucking story?
I'm trying. But, okay, so we're in bed. She's asleep. I'm trying to sleep. And they don't have any animals in the house except for maybe a ferret, but that's in a cage downstairs. And then I start hearing, like, footsteps, like, scraping across the carpet, like, getting louder and louder and very closer to me.
It was the ferret.
And, no, it wasn't a ferret, because I eventually went downstairs and checked later. But...
Are you sure? Because
footsteps.
Most ferrets are always fucking hiding back in that stupid little tube. They never come out. How did you even know it was in there?
They didn't have a tube for it.
All right,
it was like a 2-level cage.
So we got a ferret, but it wasn't involved.
A ferret wasn't involved. But I just keep hearing these footsteps kind of scrape toward, like, across the carpet, closer and closer to the bed. And then seconds later after that, the laundry basket just knocks over. Full laundry basket knocked over.
And you saw this happen?
I saw the laundry basket knocked over. I didn't open my eyes because I was a scared piece of shit at the time. Because this was my first experience of anything like this.
So you were like, you had your eyes shut and shivering when that happened.
Yes, pretty much. Pretty much.
And so, but no. And what you're saying is there's no logical way that it could have happened.
Exactly.
Okay. Well,
no, it wasn't a gusty, stormy night. No windows were open or anything like that. And like, there's no way that basket could have fallen over, and there's no way that I could have heard foot scraping across the carpet. Any way, shape, or form.
And so you took away from this. This was a strange and unexplainable experience.
Correct.
All right. Well, that's pretty good. What'd you do afterwards?
Afterwards, well, the next morning, I brought it up to her.
No. What did you do right afterwards? Like, how long did it take you to calm down and go back to sleep?
Oh, about an hour or so.
I mean, what did you...
The first thing I wanted to do was go outside for a cigarette, but I did not want to leave the bed.
And, why didn't you just smoke in the bed and use that fucking incident to, like, justify it?
Well, yeah. Well, I could have done that, but I didn't want to be an asshole at the time. But in hindsight's 2020, I could have been an asshole and like been perfectly okay with it nowadays.
Lesson learned, man. You get a ghost, you get to smoke in bed. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you sit around there and get freaked out, and eventually calm yourself down and go back to sleep, and that's it.
Yeah, eventually go to sleep because, like, I mean, it takes me about a few hours to even go to sleep on a regular basis.
Why?
When I'm in bed, I insomnia.
Insomnia?
Yeah, I do not have a easy time going to sleep.
Why?
It takes me about... Why? I have no idea. This is something that's happened ever since I was younger.
Because when your mind...
Usually I need to smoke like a bowl or two before I actually pass out.
When your mind goes still, the darkness creeps in. Is that what it is?
Possibly.
Yeah, you got some demons? You got some...
We all have demons.
What do you think bothers you at night when you close your eyes and everything goes quiet and dark? What is it that creeps into your mind, Clarice?
That everyone's an asshole.
Yeah, it bugs me. Well, thank you for the call. You got any other ghost stories, real quick, or are we out?
No, that's the only ghost story I ever had. This is the first experience I've ever had, and that was a year ago.
All right. Well, thank you for the
call. You
call.
want a ghost story, so I called in for one.
Totally.
Called in with one.
Always welcome a ghost story. Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Jimmy from Downers Grove. See you later, punk ass motherfucker. That was his ghost story. Like I said, 708-244-8142. We're broadcasting from Crystal Recorders studio in Lombard, Illinois. Crystal Recorders, 2 L's in Lombard, Illinois. We got another caller. Oh, fuck. It just says stupid idiot on the screen. Who is this? Hello?
I just wanted to say that I like to hear a show that spends time talking about goats.
About ghosts?
Well, your previous caller, was he talking about goats?
You know what? That's interesting. I didn't listen closely. I don't know if he was talking about ghosts or goats.
That's what I was thinking, too. Thank you. I'll sit down and listen for my answer.
Do you know what? It actually might have been 2 goats that knocked over the fucking...
That's what I was thinking. You heard feet scraping. You know, the sneaky cloven hooves.
All right. That's
okay, thank you.
That's a good call. I like that one. See, try to have a funny thing to say when you call in. That's a good example. Try to have an angle, you know, something entertaining for people is always nice here at the Sunday Evening Overdose. Like I was saying, Lombard, Illinois, broadcasting from Crystal Recorder Studio. Check that all out. You can vacation in Lombard. There's probably a hotel here somewhere. We're going to continue the show. What time is it? 11:38. Holy shit. Time flies when you have to talk constantly. My computer is having some fucking shitty things go on, but we got some shit in the way of UFO news. If I can get this motherfucking thing going on, nothing all that compelling in ghosts or UFOs this week. Just thought I'd hit some shit, but we do have some other things. Hang on. I got some other shit to talk about. Hey, Max, by the way, the computer's doing that fucking shitty shit again, if you want to come look at it. I got something from CNN.com, an article about a hunger strike in California prisons. On July 8th in 2013, 30,000 California prisoners launched what became a 60-day mass hunger strike. 1 year later, however, Louis Esquivel is still sitting in the security housing unit, the SHU, for those of you who watch fucking Lock Up and shit, in solitary confinement in California's Pelican Bay State Prison. Right now, my uncle is in his cell with no windows, said his niece. This is an article from CNN, Michael Martinez, on July 3rd. Michael Martinez and Holly Yan wrote this fucking piece of shit article that doesn't explain anything about who this guy is or why he's in there, if he fucking bites people's necks every time they let him out or what the deal is. Well, he's been in solitary confinement for 15 years. Yeah, this is CNN for you. This is just shitty reporting, and I pulled it because I'm a fucking idiot. This guy is one of the plaintiffs in a case called Ashker v. Brown. It's a federal lawsuit filed on behalf of Pelican Bay prisoners who have spent 10 or more years in the SHU. That's pretty fucked up. 10 or more years in solitary confinement. In the SHU, people are locked in their cells for at least 22 hours a day. Those accused of gang membership or association, are placed in the SHU for an indeterminate length of time. Accusations of gang involvement often rely on confidential informants and circumstantial evidence. Hundreds have been confirmed within the SHU for more than a decade. Confined in the SHU for more than a decade. Until recently, the only way to be released from the SHU was to debrief or provide information, blah, 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 blah. So the lawsuit wants to, eliminate these group punishments and abolish debriefing policy and provide adequate food. I don't know. It's just a lot about the living conditions in prison. And you know what? In a culture where we fucking funnel so many people through the prison system, this is another issue where I'd like to discuss it from a compassionate viewpoint and say oh yeah, we need to advocate for better treatment of prisoners. But you know what? A lot of these people are fucking disgusting in prisons. I've been to fucking jail. I know what people are like there. I never been in a real prison, but a lot of these people are fucking horrible, that end up in here, but some of them aren't. But the fact remains, like, you know, we have a prison system in this country that is run for profit largely, and, you know, it's another issue where all of these business interests tie together with media and eventually into government, and we have one giant kind of orgy of feeding off the lower class people and creating an environment for them in a media that promotes criminal behavior, and then feeding off of their violations and, you know, creating a fucking slave workforce in the prison system that works for like 50 cents an hour or whatever, and, you know, just keeping this consolidation of wealth and resources going that we know and love so well.
They're abandoning the thought of rehabilitation.
Well, no, that's not the point, though. See, that's the thing. The rehabilitation has never been the point.
Not rehabilitation, but that's the wrong word. But for drug addicts, don't put drug addicts in jail. You know what I mean? Like, help them out. You know. Right, and that's just one part of what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, it's a small piece. You know what? Looks like we have piqued the interest of a caller. Hello, how you doing? You're on the Sunday evening Overdose. What's your name? Where you from?
I'm Melissa from Woodridge.
Melissa from Woodridge. What the fuck do you want?
I want to find out how to vote with my dollars against the prison industrial system. I just have a question.
Well, you know, that's a good point. I wish I offhand. Maybe my producer can do this. It would be interesting if Max, you can find out what's the nearest privately owned, run for profit system prison to us, and see if we can find out who benefits from it and what other businesses they're involved in, and like Melissa says, is maybe we can vote against them with our dollar. That's a good point. I haven't actually gone there with my own consumer responsibility. Do you know anything about it?
I don't. That's why I'm calling to ask. Seems like the right person.
You know, if any of our listeners or if my producer can see if they can figure anything out about that, yeah, that'd definitely be interesting. But without having any information in front of me, I would, short of guaranteeing, I would guess that really, I mean, it's. I guarantee you, there's going to be common interests in media, probably, you know, big agriculture and like, you know, the food industry, and also, no, I don't know, but I'm just guessing.
I'll just look it up myself.
I'm guessing it's. Well, you can look it up yourself. We're doing a fucking radio show here. I'm trying to talk and get through this fucking space here. Something that makes sense. I'm just guessing, and it's not really a guess. I'm saying that it's probable that, you know, these are the same people that have business interests in the kind of structure that produces a culture with so many criminals, you know. So, you know what I mean by that. You know, they're on both sides of the fence. Like a guy that goes around and breaks windows because he's got a window shop or whatever.
Do you know who owns Ustream?
No, why? Who does?
Okay, I'm gonna go.
You're gonna look it up? What is this? Some weird fucking psychological examination call? I'm trying to fucking. Ooh, Melissa from Woodridge hung up. Wow, that was weird. You know who owns Ustream? Hang up. You know what? I'm calling her back. Fuck that. We're going to get to the bottom of this. If she knows something about this, we should know.
I can't do it. I'm too drunk to talk anymore. That's how it happened.
So you just hang up on me in mid-call?
Yeah, mid-call. You called me back, so now I'm gonna stay.
Yeah, I called you back on the air because I don't give a fuck. Because awesome. no one cares.
I got some comments about your show.
What is it?
Spurred interesting and heated conversation in my household, which is an excellent sign.
Oh yeah,
and got some laughs.
Was there a physical altercation?
No physical altercations, though we did get into it about sharks a little bit.
Yeah,
we had
well,
some differences of opinions about sharks.
A lot of people are on the blame the humans. Kind of crusade of, sharks are in their own natural environment, blah, blah, blah. They're vicious, bloodthirsty monsters. And we need to start being honest about it.
I gotta say, all of this, every topic so far has united to me around something I've been thinking about a lot lately, which is everybody's need to be right or correct about something.
Yeah.
Or everything, or whatever you say, Like, I'm the one that's right about Hobby Lobby. I'm the one that's right about Hobby Lobby is right about everybody. Or, Sirius XM's right to fire whoever. Honestly, those guys, they had a contract, right? Like, those guys can fire whoever the fuck they want to fire. They're the one, you don't have a right to get paid.
Well, the argument's not about, the legality of it or something. It's just about whether or not they should have, morally.
You can do whatever you want to do, like whether you're right or not is not even a question. It's not about that.
No, that's what I'm saying is that now, everybody's going to cancel. They made the decision they made. The show has other options to go other places, and, it sucks. And my only point...
I agree that it sucks. Like, I agree that they're not letting people say their minds in that. But I'm just saying, maybe they should have thought about it when they signed up with a giant corporation to do a radio broadcast.
No, that's a valid point for sure. And they wanted the exposure, and they know what comes along with it.
Right.
So no, yeah, that's fine. It's just, it just sucks that this is the culture that we live in. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully this won't be the case forever. But it's, you can't. I'm not gonna spend 2 weeks bitching about it. I just thought we'd talk about it tonight and kind of get it on the table. But yeah, it's not. I mean, it's there.
I was kind of shocked that they fired him, but
it seems like a strange.
I'm not surprised.
It seems like a strange business move, but if you consider the fact that they probably get beat in the ratings by really cheesy stuff, and it's like. Yeah, they've got a long-term cult following, and the quality of it is well above, 99% of whatever else is out there. It's not about that. They can make just as much money with some bullshit that doesn't cause them any problems. So yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I'm just disappointed and sorry to see a show like that lose a huge platform like that. And I'm disappointed that satellite radio is turning out to be the same thing as fucking terrestrial radio. That's what I'm really disappointed about.
And what does that make you wonder about, any services you or somebody you may know might be using yourself, I mean, where does the censorship end?
Well, no one's censoring us because no one's listening to us. So there's...
For now.
We've got that, But, but and in the end, no, you don't really get censored on the satellite radio. There's all kinds of fucking crazy things saying. I mean, honestly, if you want to talk about racism, anybody that listens to a lot of talk radio knows that no matter you turn on a show, I forget, I don't even know any shows in particular, but let's say you turn on a show that's all black people and it's marketed towards black people, and there's going to be making fun of white people, and there's going to be making fun of Asians, and it's going to happen. It usually is. And, if you turn on a show that's marketed towards rural white people, there's going to be, some making fun of black people, and and it's whatever. And it's what these two fucking extremely different cultures are going to look over the fence at each other and do.
Well, yeah, but, that all comes down to, in our country, we are technically allowed to say whatever we want to say as long as your owners agree, right?
I guess. I mean, supposedly we have some absolute rights that are guaranteed to us, but at the end of the day, the Constitution is a piece of paper, and
we all need money, and so we all are owned by somebody in some way because we need money.
Yeah, unless you become, totally self-sufficient. Which not many of us are. At the end of the day, we're all agreeing to be a part of this society by staying in it and participating in it. So, yeah, whatever. That's enough fucking drunk esoteric points.
All right. Well, thanks.
I'll see you around sometime. Thanks for listening to the show. So yeah, that's what we got on that. I don't know. As far as this, I was getting back to this prison hunger strike. I don't know. This fucking thing. Better conditions for people in prisons. How about a culture that doesn't put so many fucking people in prison in the first fucking place? This is just another moot point to me, you know? How about the fact that fucking 85% of the people that are in that prison because they committed a crime somehow related to drugs? And how about the fact that if we had a different approach to drug use in this country, if we didn't have such an inflammatory approach in terms of law enforcement, that we might be able to deal with it with some level of compassion and some level of effectiveness. Again, I'm not big into fucking factoids. You can look this up for yourself. You legalize drugs, you take away the stigma, and you take away the attractive nature of a counterculture for kids, and on down the line, and you end up with a more realistic view of drugs in that hard drug abusers are looked at as a sad and pathetic fucking thing, and it's not this part of this kind of like rejection of society and blah, blah, blah. We deal with it in an intelligent way as a society. Whatever. Fuck you. Fuck stupid jails. We got another caller. What's going on? I can't see this name. Who is this?
Hey, man, this is Frank Allen Karuba.
Uh-oh.
St. Pierre.
That's too many fucking names, dude. Who is this?
Frank Allen Karuba St. Pierre.
That's a fake name.
No, that's a real name.
It's his real name.
It's a fake name.
No, I swear to God, it's a real name.
All right, Frank Allen Karuba St. Pierre. What do you got for us, man? What's going down?
I was just wondering, what do you think about like today's like people with the smartphones and shit? Turn that down. I can't like concentrate.
You're on a smartphone right now, probably.
Oh yeah, I am, and like I'm on it constantly. Like, what do you think that's going to do to America? Like,
well, this is
it. Like,
this is to me, this is the conversation that goes on with a lot of technology, and especially stuff that interfaces you with networking and the illusion that you're connected to others. There's something that about direct person-to-person human contact that can't be replaced by anything else. And we're losing that value when we spend too much time, head first into our fucking devices and our stuff that makes us feel like we're connected to a large network, but we're not actually getting into the real benefits of human connection. It's a great tool. It's awesome. I use it constantly. Most people do, because why wouldn't you? Because it makes your life 100 times fucking easier, and it makes you able to get more things done. It's entertaining. It's whatever. But it's time for we definitely have to keep the open conversation and be conscious of the fact that it can be extremely harmful as well, and you see all the time people that it's like you bring somebody to your friend's house and, they're a total fucking slug, piece of shit, asshole, bore that just sits on their phone and whatever. It sucks. You be a person. It's not a replacement for a personality. It's not a replacement for fucking real human interaction. It's a tool.
Yeah, and I totally agree.
It needs to be used responsibly. That's my thing. It should be used, but it should be,
There will be days where I don't even touch my phone. Like, I'll go like 2 or 3 days without touching my phone, and I'll see texts, and I'll feel bad. But, I mean, it's just, I don't want that kind of technology around me 24/7 to where, everyone knows what I'm doing. I mean, I just think it's, I feel skeptical on the security thing and stuff like that. I feel like people listen to my phone like all the time. I don't know why. It's just, I guess I'm paranoid.
It's probably because you're smoking a lot of weed.
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah, but the other thing is, there's plenty of evidence that, your calls are getting dumped into a giant database. Probably no one's directly listening to your phone, but yeah, there's general very valid privacy issues with a lot of this stuff and a lot of popular apps that you want to have. Now, you can't get apps that you want unless you allow them to access certain areas of your phone and information, that could be used to, quote unquote, help sell your information for marketing. But what's scarier is how closely tied the government is to a lot of these companies, and how we could be dealing with a government gone wild at some point that has every little bit of information they need on everyone to fucking totally dominate,
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I mean, it needs to be a thing that you think about, if you catch yourself in a room and you notice, hey, I'm sitting with actual human beings and their faces are right here and their eyes are open and their brains are fucking interpreting the fact that I'm here, don't forget about that shit. Look up from your fucking phone, be a person, that shouldn't cease to be a part of our experience on this planet, and we need it. And you see people that use too much, that are online too much and just fucking by themselves too much, it's not healthy.
Yeah, I got a couple friends, they play this game called RuneScape, and they just they'll play it for 12 hours and then just pass out.
Dude, one of those fucking virtual reality games or some shit.
Yeah. So they'll play it for days on end.
I got one of those.
It's just
Did you ever play walking around in life doing things?
No.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know what
good.
That is at all.
No, that's good. It's where you put on some clothes. You get out of your house, you go out to a place to see some music or fucking see your friends. Maybe you go on a hike or you do whatever you're interested in. Generally, you walk around in the actual world doing actual things. I'm into that one.
Yeah. See, I like that too, and I try and get them to do it, but I have this one friend, I literally have to prank him to get out of the house. I'll have to put a tractor tire in his front yard to get him to come say hi to us besides play Xbox. I don't know how to get that guy out into society and just be mainstream, actually hang out with people. He just sits in his room all day. I can't do anything about it.
What does he eat typically? Does he eat a lot of fast food and junk food and shit?
Oh yeah, that's exactly what he does. He has 9 boxes of pizza in his room just from takeout.
Yeah.
And he stays in his bed all day long.
And generally doesn't have any fucking, motivation or any of his own projects that he's working on or anything that he creates or anything like that. Just a stagnant,
nothing at all.
Fucking dead mind
He
state.
He works, and I think he thinks that's it to life. And then he can just go home and play video games all day.
Well, a lot of people are like that. You punch the clock, and that's your experience in the world. And you generally then go home and jerk off and fucking play jerk off video games. And that's another thing. What is the thing about? I don't understand the appeal about a video game that takes up that much of your fucking time. You must. I mean, why not just be a heroin addict? If you want out of reality that bad. Why not get a set of balls and fucking do some heroin and get out of reality then, Go fucking kill yourself.
Yeah,
why not?
I totally agree.
I mean, if you want out of reality that bad, this shit shouldn't, video games, this is another thing. I grew up playing video games, and for most of my life, I thought, that argument of video games are dangerous or could do this or that to your mind, that's stupid. That's just people are fucking uptight, whatever. But no, it's another thing you have to balance. Yeah, get on Grand Theft Auto and kill a bunch of motherfuckers and laugh with your friends, but understand what it is, and entertain yourself and then move on. And, I didn't like Grand Theft Auto. I fucking stopped playing it when you had to fucking go to the gym in the game. What the fuck? I paid for this. I bought this fucking game. I bought this. And I have to fucking work in the game? This shit is retarded. It's escapism. It's total fucking detached depression garbage.
Have you played the new one at all?
No, I haven't. I haven't done any video games in a long time. I got PlayStation 2. And it's for if
you
anyone,
can actually smoke
it's
a bong
2014
in the new Grand Theft Auto.
See, do you want to come over to my house sometime?
Me?
Yeah, we could smoke a bong at my house.
Yeah, I know, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You mean on Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, on Grand Theft Auto.
I would love that.
You know what I would rather
do that sometime.
What I would rather do than waste my life playing video games? I would rather smoke a bong in a fucking actual stolen car and then get charged with Grand Theft Auto.
Agreed.
Which actually, that was a joke that came up in my head because that actually fucking happened when we were like 16. That was some shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got caught. It's all on the public record. You can fucking look it up.
Really? That sucks.
Yeah. No, we deserved it. We're pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, you did steal a car. I mean.
Yeah. Anyways, that was before video games. That was before Grand Theft Auto. Even we were just fucking doing shit out in the world. See what I'm saying, man? That's how you do it.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. Thanks for the call. Good topic. Thanks for listening. And call in again sometime. What the fuck was your name? Alan?
It's Karuba. That's what people call me, Karuba. It's Frank Allen Karuba, the whole name.
Frank Allen Karuba St. Pierre, though. That was it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
My full name.
Fake name, asshole. You're out of here. Boom. Yeah, good topic. Something I'm happy with. I think we might run to another break in a few minutes after I get to a few more things and then come back for the brief after hours drunk talk because I still have fucking whiskey and blunt here. So, trying to roll a blunt. I'm going to give up on that right for the second until we get to break. But, yeah, if you want to call in, it's 708-244-8142, 708-244-8142. Give us a call. It's Sunday Evening Overdose. Once again, our guest earlier was Chris York from the Fortean Slip. Check them out on YouTube.com. And if you want to call in, again, ghost stories, fucking UFO sightings, fucking weird animals, or fucking shark attacks, or if you've seen a shark, or you know anything about a shark, freshwater sharks, we're interested in that. Whatever you want to do, call in the show and we'll mix it up. Once again, I want to thank my crew, to Max in the control room, the producer, and the whole fucking crew of people that help us get set up here to do the overdose. I'm trying to pull some shit up for break here. This is what, if you listen to my show, you don't fucking change the channel just because I have a shitty fucking minute, okay? You give me a fucking break once in a while. I'm drinking, I'm smoking, I'm talking about weird shit. I'm doing this all by myself so that we have no fucking restrictions whatsoever, you know? You just chill out. You enjoy the fact that I'm out here doing my thing. And you just really enjoy it. You just sit there and just fucking roll back and forth. No, I got it. The computer's fine. I just didn't have any fucking thing ready.
Shut the fuck up.
Man, the caller ended, and I'm just not experienced at radio. So I'm going to roll out to some music. We're going to take another fucking 8-minute break, and I'm going to roll a blunt, and we'll be back on the Sunday Evening Overdose for, I don't know, whatever it is, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70.
1 word.
80.
Uncomfortable in
90.
my own skin.
100. 110. Minutes. Bye. Alright. Well, sorry about that shit. We're having some fucking shit go on today.
The laptops are the weakest part of our chain.
Yeah, the laptops are really the weakest part of this whole fucking show. I've been saying that for a long time. So, whatever, we're just gonna come back on halfway through the fucking song. Fuck you, it's our show. Let's do, get some aliens while we finish getting fucked up and get out of here. I got a headline here that grabbed my eye. It's from ghosttheory.com. Skeptical approach to the unexplained is their slogan. This is a video I'm going to... Or is it? Fucking computer's fucked up. Fuck this. Alright, well... the headline on this thing was from Ouija board to hospital, Mexican possessed in for treatment. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean. That's the problem with these fucking websites. There's a lot of fucking shitty writing. Don't we all love the tabloid? Here's courtesy of Daily Mail. A story about 3 American buddies who were hospitalized shortly after playing a game on the Ouija board. By the way, this was posted July 6th. Is that today? I don't know what fucking day it is. I'm a scumbag. Alexandra Huerta, a 22-year-old American, was playing a game with her brother Sergio, 23, and an 18-year-old cousin Fernando Cuevas in the Tepoztlán village, San Juan. Holy fuck. Tiacantenco, Southwest Mexico, we'll call it. This playful game around a Ouija board soon took a turn for the serious as she began growling and thrashing like a vile creature. Sergio and Fernando, too, began exhibiting symptoms like blindness, deafness, and hallucinations. The paramedics were called, and they took them to a nearby hospital. The patients had to be restrained and then given doses of anti-stress medications. So they're playing a Ouija board, fucking shit goes nuts, they freak out, go to a hospital. I don't know. Is it possible? Is it possible that maybe they were on fucking drugs and didn't tell anyone? Yeah, it's possible. Maybe even probable. Not because they're Mexican. Let's just get that out of the way. First and foremost, everyone does drugs. It's totally possible. But there's a shitload of stories like that, out there. And actually, that's something else I've noticed about my day-to-day life. When I talk to people, I've got a Ouija board in my house. Most fucking people are unwilling to participate in that activity. Most people are, that I know, and maybe I just know a certain type of crowd who thinks they know better, but like...
I've never found anyone that's down to use one.
No, it's really hard
Not
to...
once.
People are, and the same person could sit there and go, oh, it's just a fucking game from Target. It's a stupid thing. I don't want to do it. Come on, then just humor me for 10 minutes. No, and you can see the fucking, like, the fear.
You see the terror in people's eyes.
You
like,
see
they're
the fear
just so
behind them.
Afraid of it, and it says Milton Bradley on it.
It says Milton
or whatever
Bradley.
The fuck,
But with something like that, the idea is that, the apparatus doesn't really matter. It's the it's
the fear in the mind of the individual.
Well, and it's the practice of doing it that could connect you. You could fucking make your own, and get the same effect. Whatever. It's not who made it or what it is or where it came from. It's the fucking...
I'm just commenting on the mainstream availability of the item.
Sure. Great. You want to give them plugs for stores that have them?
Kmart, Toys R Us.
Yeah. All right, we got theexaminer.com. A man haunted by his dead girlfriend claims that she has been sending him messages from beyond the grave. Apparently, she has been sending him Facebook messages for nearly 2 years since her death. Now, that's kind of a long time for an ex-girlfriend who's still alive, let alone dead. I don't know, what's the etiquette on that, on your ghost girlfriend? How long until she's a fucking stalker, Couple ghost messages, yeah, that's touching, but,
I would say three heartfelt messages.
2 years of fucking ghost messages from this bitch. All right. This is, it was reported by Good Morning America, so we know it's fucking reliable journalism there. A Reddit user by the name of Nate SW went to the social news site to share an eerie story about a former girlfriend that recently died in a car crash. He posted the story under the title, "My dead girlfriend keeps messaging me on Facebook. I've got the screenshots. I don't know what to do." Something tells me... Yeah. Well, he's messaging on him on Facebook. It's a little bit more complicated. But, yeah, something tells me a lot of these are hoaxes and shit. Just fucking misunderstandings. I don't know. You know, right off the bat, I could think of, you know, it'd be pretty easy if we're in love with someone and they were killed tragically, unexpectedly, and you were to go nuts and create another part of you that fucking writes yourself messages from that person and then wants attention about it to try to validate it. Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's a fucking ghost chick from Facebook, but here again, why would a ghost use Facebook? Why would a ghost use Facebook? Yep, it's probably bullshit. According to Nathan, his girlfriend Emily died in a car accident on August 7th, 2012. Emily was killed when a vehicle ran a red light and struck her car. She died instantly at the scene. Nathan claims that she has been haunting him by sending him messages on Facebook since September 2013. Em had been dead for approaching 13 months when she first messaged me. I had left this is the guy talking. I had left Emily's Facebook account activated so I could send her the occasional message, post on her wall, go through her albums, etc. It felt too final and too un-Emily to memorialize it. Her mother also has access. Her mother has the login and password. He assumed it was her.
There you go.
Yeah, well, so he's saying that he at first thought it was the mother. It just said hello and was repeated 13 minutes later. I had received confirmation from Susan that she hadn't logged into Em's Facebook since the week of her death. She knew a lot of people, so I instantly assumed this was one of her more tech-savvy friends fucking with me in the worst possible way. After Nathan realized it wasn't Emily's mom, he thought it might be a hacker, blah, blah, blah. He noticed that whoever was sending the messages from Emily's account was recycling old messages from their shared chat history. Her profile started tagging her in Nathan's photos. It would happen randomly. And he sent what he thought was a hacker asking why they were doing this, and never received an answer. Even stranger messages started to come from Emily's profile in April. One of the messages had random phrases that appeared to have been recycled from previous conversations. Another message repeated things that Nathan said. So, this guy's got something going on with this guy. Here's what he says. "This has given me nightmares that have only started to kick in recently. I keep dreaming that she's in an ice-cold car, frozen blue and gray, and I'm standing outside in the warmth screaming at her to open the door. That's fucked up. She doesn't even realize I'm there. Sometimes her legs are outside with me." Dude, this guy just really misses his girlfriend, and something fucked up is going on here, but I don't know that I'm seeing any real evidence about an actual
let's just move on.
Ghost girl there. Yeah, I'd like to move on, but I'm waiting for something to load, you motherfucker, so you should have just let me drone on for a second. The Sunday evening overdose. I guess this is from the Huffington Post. And again, if you want to call in on any of this shit, 708-244-8142.
No fucking cursing. Be respectable when you fucking call.
Chile releases supposedly an official study on UFO photos. This happens from time and time again, from time to time. Supposedly some other country will do a a study on UFOs and conclude, yeah, there's a very real phenomenon. But what do you need a government study for? Look around. This is another thing. The video, photographic, and anecdotal evidence all combine into a real phenomenon. No matter what you think causes it, it's fucking happening. So we got from the Huffington Post, the government office investigating UFOs in Chile has released an analysis of 2 high-quality photos showing what appear to be genuine unidentified flying objects above a remote copper mine. The office, known as the CEFAA, Committee for the Studies of Anomalous Aerial Phenomenon, is located within the Ministerial Department of Civil Aeronautics, DGAC. The equivalent of our FAA, basically. It's responsible for the analysis of selected reports of unexplained aerial phenomenon in Chilean airspace, most of them from pilots and aviation personnel. So these were photos that were taken at this copper mine called Collahuasi, Collahuasi. And because of our computer issues, I'm not interacting online. If anybody's trying to fucking talk to us or anything, just call in 708-244-8142. The copper mine is about 14,000 feet above sea level in the Andean plateau in the far north of Chile. An extremely remote location with low oxygen levels and unusually clear skies, the area is desolate and is inhospitable. The Collahuasi mine produces copper concentrate, copper cathodes, and molybdenum. Fucking, we're doing a radio show, man. You get a lot of words in here. molybdenum. Fuck you. Concentrate from 3 open pit mineral deposits. 4 technicians, professionals specializing in electricity, electronics, and fluid control, were working there in April 2013. They witnessed a disc-shaped object which approached slowly and was present for more than an hour, moving around in different positions and hovering at about 2,000 feet. One technician took pictures with his Kenox, fucking whatever model camera, and pretty compelling little study. We already have a caller on the topic. Let me see what we got. Hang on. Let me get the caller. Do we have him? Yeah. Hey,
hello?
Is this Tom again?
Tom again?
Yeah, you called last week, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. I was going to say. No.
No, you didn't? Is it not the same Tom?
No, I called once.
All right. Well, what the fuck do you want?
Well, are we still talking about the subject from earlier of telling women to shut their mouths?
No, we're talking about castle jackers now.
No, we're talking about our new idea for a TV show where you have to sneak into an abandoned castle and jack off to completion before the security guards catch you. It's called Castle Jackers.
Mm. All right, that sounds fun. You guys should do that.
What do you want?
So we're talking about ghosts and aliens, right?
Yeah. I was talking about our computers fucking up, and so I was going off my phone, so now I can't look at it anymore. We were talking about a Chilean study on UFOs, and
oh yeah. And then before that, the guy with the ghost girlfriend.
Yeah, the guy with the ghost girlfriend. What'd you think of that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's multiple people have the login information. Probably not a lot to it. Somebody's fucking with this poor guy, man.
That's what I'm thinking, and I think that was
whoever it is. Like, that's mean, though. I just got to say, whoever's that, stop it.
Oh, okay. We got our computer back up. Yeah, that was on. I think that was on the Examiner. Yeah, that was fucked up. And clearly, when you see the quotes from the guy about the dreams, like he's going through fucking torture, you know. And
yeah, that's terrible.
And any way that he could believe that she's communicating with him, he's gonna fucking cling to, you know, in a heartbeat. 100%. And that's how that whole industry runs of convincing people they can. You know, and this.
Oh yeah.
It is an industry. Yeah, you know, to those who don't know.
I posted. You know. I know some people over the years who have argued with that. Like, okay, now let me just give you a quick I do believe in unexplainable phenomena. But going back to something you said earlier in the show, I think it's unexplainable because we're not at the pinnacle of fucking, know-it-all, beings that we think we are.
We
don't understand shit yet. I do think that a lot of it...
Let me cut you off for a second.
Go ahead.
The way you're talking, saying shit like that, it's time to spark a blunt and do some fucking stony UFO talk.
All right.
This is a gag on our show. It's a little bit of civil disobedience that I like to regularly engage in, is smoking marijuana on the air. Not because it's fucking like I'm some hippie that thinks that's awesome or some shit. It's just a fucking piece of civil disobedience that I can do right here easily, and it gets me high also. So that's cool.
It's a plus. It's a bonus.
But, yeah, I'm not, just so anybody knows, I'm not doing it so, like, we can all think it's so cool. It's just I would fucking be doing it anyways, so I might as well fucking tell you guys. That's all. Let's go.
Sure. Why not?
Go on. Sorry, that was shitty, stupid fucking thing for me to say. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, I agreed with what you said. I just think most of the, unexplainable phenomenon that goes on that is documented, and like you say, most of the stuff is documented over and over and over and over and over. Chances are something's going on that we just can't explain because our limited technology. First of all, we can't even see colors that we know exist. We can't hear things that we know exist. So why would we think that we shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, our range of perception through this clunky brain that we have is not as fine-tuned as we'd like to think it is. So, yeah, I think that a lot of the, the replay thing, who knows? It could be any amount of it. UFOs, why? Of course they, obviously they're going to be proven eventually.
Well, has it not been proven already that there's
it has been proven
that there's unidentified lights in the sky? Who the fuck looks around and says, no, every single thing was faked, every single person was lying or whatever?
Exactly.
It's like something's happening. And that's how same with the Bigfoot thing. Bigfoot is a little bit harder to argue because there's a lot less evidence. But
if there's an animal that really has escaped the human, never been caught and been pursued the way it has been pursued, I've always been a little on the fence about that one. That seems a little more,
but then again,
I guess. But.
We did have, the chupacabra is like considered to be somewhat of a myth, or a paranormal kind of end of things. And, when you look at it, and it started on one side of Puerto Rico in, I don't remember if it was 92 or 94 or something, and sightings moved across Puerto Rico and then eventually up into Mexico, and, it as though it crossed the water there, and sightings started on that coast, the east coast of Mexico, and moved up through Mexico and eventually into Texas, where people started killing the motherfuckers. And now you've seen...
Yeah.
They've had a bunch of these bodies of these weird fucking dog deer shits that they don't know what the fuck they are, and they're like a dog deer kangaroo motherfucker with fangs. And
that is true. Yeah, you're right. I guess that's true.
Yeah,
so an animal that's recently been
nobody could catch the motherfucker for years. Nobody could get their hands on it or get a picture or anything. And now all of a sudden, it's one of those things when people see something's possible, they're able to do it. So somebody got one of them. Somebody said, and the other guy in Texas, I forget who it was, but there's a guy that said, fuck it, you know what? I've had some chickens that are getting drained of their blood. I'm going to set up a fucking shotgun ready to roll, and when I see this thing coming, I'm going to... And he did it, and he shot it fucking dead, and now they've got, and scientists are all conflicted about what it is, But there's like 5 of them that look exactly the same. It's clearly we're going to, at some point, have to admit that it's an animal we didn't fucking know about. So, it's not out of the realm of possibility. And that was fucking 6 years ago that they found those first bodies. So I don't even know, we'll cover that maybe in the next show or something. That would be interesting. But just as an example, there's all kinds of things. It's possible. Anything's possible. I don't like to rule out anything. It's just, to me, it's just saying, no, it can't be. That to me is just closed-minded. It's just, if that was the way that people thought, forever,
predominant. I mean, I guess it is predominantly the way people think, but if everybody thought that way, we would have never advanced beyond anything. We would still be in caves. So, yeah, I don't like that mentality.
So, were you listening to the show before you called in at all?
Yeah.
So we were talking about this. I have to ask that because like 2 people called who weren't even fucking listening. They just saw the number on Facebook and called.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
So
Chile released this official study on UFOs. I guess we're getting to it in the article. The whole thing says 4 technicians. Professionals specializing in electricity and electronics and fluid control were working there in April 2013. This is at this mine, Collahuasi copper mine. They witnessed a disc-shaped object. It approached slowly, was present for more than an hour, moving around in different positions and hovering at about 2,000 feet. They took pictures, as I was saying right before you called. Strange object made no sound and eventually moved away towards the east. They didn't tell anybody. And they sent the images to the Chilean version of the FAA, basically, and and some meteorological offices got involved. Confirmed that there was a totally clear sky, no possible of weird fucking atmospheric play going on, whatever. Determined that there were no drones from through other government agencies. It's a really exhaustive study they did. So it's basically a really good sighting with a lot of good photographs. And that's from the Huffington Post, which, I mean, I don't know. It's not a fucking. It's not the Weekly World News. So, this shit is.
The Phoenix Lights was. I mean, I don't understand how people still. That was witnessed by like hundreds, if not thousands, of people. Those lights over Phoenix.
Oh, I remember. I remember very well. I swear to God, I'm going off the top of my head. I want to say that was March 13th, 1997. That happened.
Okay.
And I'm probably wrong about that. Somebody could fucking check on that. I don't know, but that's how vividly I remember it. I think I remember the date.
Yeah.
And
it was crazy. It was insane.
I remember seeing the news. Something strange in the sky over Phoenix. And it's like, why don't you say, holy fuck? Well, you should be on the news saying, holy fuck, a giant fucking spaceship just flew over the city and everyone fucking saw it and there's no fucking question that it happened.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was like, they marginalized this shit. I get it.
Yeah,
and maybe it's for. I mean, the argument there is, obviously, that like you don't want mass hysteria, you don't want people panicking, blah 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 blah. But come on,
who doesn't want that?
You treat people like children. Yeah, you treat people like children, you're going to have a fucking population of child-minded idiots.
Well, but
you gotta.
Here's the thing, though, too. Like, you say, that's the knee-jerk thing of, of course, they have to keep anything they know about a secret. Like, who does, though, and who knows about it, and how is it classified, and at what level are you included, and what's known, and whatever. That it's not. The Phoenix Lights.
If somebody told me about it, I wouldn't freak out. I would be like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I've noticed.
This is not. Yeah, exactly.
The Phoenix Lights is a good one to bring up. That's a great example. That one drives me fucking nuts for how insanely visible it was to how many people. I mean, it floated right over a packed fucking highway that traffic went to.
Yeah, for a long time, and it was completely
Traffic was gridlocked. Everyone pulled over and just watched it. I mean, it was. Fucking, I don't know, thousands of people? I don't know. And
I think so. I'm pretty sure it was thousands of people, yeah.
Easily, hundreds and hundreds of people had to have seen it. I mean, obviously, So
but where did it go? Where did the story go? Like, what was ever, do you know what I'm saying?
Well, right.
Like, how is that not still talked about? That's a fucking crazy incident.
There's other major events. The Battle of Los Angeles, that actually happened, It's not a movie or a fucking Rage Against the Machine album. It was an actual fucking thing that happened. Look it up. The Battle of Los Angeles. Our military fired a fucking million rounds at a fucking spaceships all over the place above Los Angeles. I mean, you know what, Tom? I got another caller. I'm gonna let you go, but thanks for calling in, and thanks for listening.
All right, man.
You're on the Sunday evening overdose. What's up?
Hey, you guys are talking about the UFO thing and them disappearing without like anything. One time I was driving home from Chicago on 294 going, what's it called, west or whatever, southwest, whatever.
294
then,
south, south or north, yeah.
Yeah, and then we were right over by O'Hare and seen these two lights parallel with each other, like going down like vertically, straight down to the ground. We thought a plane was crashing, so we just sat there and watched it fall all the way down. Like, holy shit! Like, I can't believe we're about to see this plane crash. And then went out of sight, and then didn't hear anything. No smoke came up or nothing. And and then we watched on the news and looked it up and everything. Nothing ever got reported about it. It was nuts.
Yeah, no, O'Hare is a huge hotspot, too, over the years. There's been a lot of very, very high-profile sightings from even, like, pilots and fucking air traffic control people and shit. That's a big hotbed over there. And, I don't...
And it is one of the heaviest hotspots of just flying. It's one of the biggest airports in the country.
Yeah, that's true, too. Huh? Sorry, no, our producer was talking... about there's a lot of planes at O'Hare. Yeah, no, it is a very heavily trafficked area. Well, because he can't hear you. I have to fucking tell him. No, it's one of the busiest airspaces in the world, I guess, and a lot of fucking strange phenomenon. A lot of people around looking around. You would think that would make it unlikely for UFO events, but it doesn't apparently. And down by Midway as well, I don't know, I don't know what that means. And a lot of people would say, well, that just means there's a lot of mistaken sightings. Let me ask you, is there any way what you saw was an airplane?
No, there's no way, because it was going straight down, like straight through vertical lights going straight down. So
yeah, no, Chicago has its share. I've actually seen a couple of strange lights in the sky, and down by Midway and shit, and yeah, it happens a lot. Anything else?
Well, my buddy wanted to talk maybe about the pyramids for a second. Would you be interested in that?
What does he want to talk about?
Like pyramids and stuff.
Yeah, fuck it. Let's talk some pyramids. Max, you want to
hit man, here he is.
Do you want to hit the blunt, Max?
His name's Curtis, and he's being shy. He's not taking the phone. Here he is. Would you be interested in that?
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, man?
You want to talk about some pyramids or what?
Yeah, so I just want to hear your opinion on like the aliens and like how you think the pyramids are made. Like, do you think there's something behind this or what?
I think that I don't know. By the way, can you guys turn down your radio in the background or your speakers?
Yeah, hold on a second.
I think that, ancient Egypt is incredibly interesting. I read a book a long time ago called The Stargate Conspiracy, and
we went on tour, but I didn't.
And it outlined a lot of what was going on in terms of people interpreting, ancient Egypt as like this mystical place and sort of like occult beliefs that surround it, and the history of how that came down. That's a good book for people interested in that topic, but I don't know, because there's so many conflicting things. I know that there's things that are done architecturally in the pyramids and the Giza Plateau especially that are completely impossible with modern construction techniques. There's holes drilled in pure granite pillars down 3 feet that are fucking a couple inches in diameter or something that no drill on the planet that we know of could do. And, you know...
Oh, yeah. Have you ever seen the show Ancient Aliens? It's on the History Channel.
Yeah, you know what?
I swear, man.
If you read
they show some of the crazy stuff.
No, they do. I'm not a big fan of that show.
It must be aliens.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the show because it tends to kind of bend any information possible, and the evidence isn't all that strong. A lot of times they're pretty easily debunked, and it kind of has to do with like a dogmatic culture that is almost religious in the way it believes it can attribute like any major event in history to like having had something to do with extraterrestrial influence. But like there is a real crowd out there. I should look up the authors. The people who wrote the book, The Stargate Conspiracy, actually way back in 1998, I think they wrote it, and they warned about the pop culture kind of crowd around like Eric Von Däniken and that everybody that kind of like worships Zecharia Sitchin, who has been like pretty well debunked over the years. The book actually warned way back then not to listen to this sort of overly dogmatic, like all alien kind of like cult almost, you know, that's growing out of these guys. So, well, he hung up. I fucking talked for too long, I guess. Sorry about that, dude. I was just fucking riffing on that. But, you know, that's what I think. I'm not that much down with Ancient Aliens. I don't know. I think it kind of makes the whole topic look kind of stupid sometimes.
No, they make it over the top and foolish, and like everything is aliens. Like, well, like I saw an episode one time where they said, well, the son of Sam, he was actually possessed by a demon alien. It's like, no, he wasn't. Like, shut the fuck up. Like this.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, the son of Sam. There's a lot of evidence that he was part of a larger group, though. That he wasn't just a lone killer.
But to say that he was possessed by a demon alien.
How do you know? See, that's to me, I don't know. That's just a claim. Could be true, could not be true. Who knows if there's even...
I think that show has gotten a little ridiculous.
A lot of people say the classic gray alien is a demon. You know, the image of a fucking gray with big eyes, and that, you know, a lot of people say they're actually interdimensional demons or something or whatever. I mean, the son of Sam is an interesting case, too. I mean, that guy... I think it's pretty clear he didn't work alone, if I remember correctly.
But didn't he confess at the end that it was all a lie? And
yeah, so? What was a lie?
Well, because he said that the dog was telling him what to do. That's what he said.
Yeah, who cares what he said? He was nuts. I mean,
he was a golden retriever. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, but there's there was a lady called Mae Brussels, who was I guess, a conspiracy theory icon back in the 70s. And she talked a lot about the Son of Sam, if you want to check that out. And I've,
Does she have a book?
I don't know if she wrote a book. She did a lot of radio. She had and she was someone who was a pioneer of shows like this that really get out into deep fucking weird topics. And way before there was Coast to Coast, or before there was Alex Jones, or before there was David Icke or whatever, there was Mae Brussels taping her small local radio show and mailing it out to customers all over the fucking country, and kind of keeping the network going before it was even fucking feasible. Holy shit. Sending out individual cassettes to people that mailed her fucking money. In fact, that, so that was Mae Brussels, and I don't know, I've looked into it. I don't know, we could look into it live right now.
Because I'm really into this this alien stuff, and I'm a very firm believer that in whatever capacity there is life, you know what I mean, out there. But like when we come to the pyramids and things like that, I don't think that you can, I think sometimes we discount the ingenuity and the intelligence of early man as to saying that, like, these things aren't feasible, they're not possible, they can't tangibly happen in reality. I think that we discount early man sometimes at engineering wise what they were really capable of. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, no one has ever explained how those holes were drilled.
Oh, I know, and I know exactly
granite,
what you're talking about.
And no one's explained how this
tools and such.
Well, right, that can't fucking achieve it, right? And that nobody's explained how the fucking stones were cut around edges to fit like airtight together.
No,
and
I'm totally open to understanding that this could be something that happened. But all I'm saying right now is that
I'm not saying there was alien technology. I'm saying that we've
early man was intelligent.
Yeah, probably, and that's. But I think there's something to be said for the evidence that there was some contact with some other being.
No,
and a lot about the pharaoh culture would suggest that most people had been convinced in a demonstrable way that these were gods in front of them.
Well,
it's an interesting place.
The sky, the stars, you know what I mean? Like these people, these gods, you know what I mean? Star people, So yeah, I totally agree with where you're coming from.
All right, well, that's our producer Max's take on the pyramids. I'm gonna probably go for a few more minutes. Could you kill that mic? It's like a huge fucking buzz when you're not talking in my ear. Or not like a buzz, it's like all that room noise. I don't know, man. We've been through a lot of shit. Around here at the Overdose. I went through all my fucking news. The pyramids are definitely something that if I was president, that we would probably fucking knock them down,
explode them,
chop them up, fucking figure out what's going on in there. Supposedly there's a hall of records under the Sphinx. Is that right? I think it's under the Sphinx. And people have discovered like tunnels that seem to like they would lead to a chamber down there. And there's some obscure mentions of what might be a hall of records, which would include like the pharaoh making process and like all these like ancient Egyptian rituals, which would be very interesting in the study of the development of modern occult society, especially. And in a lot of things about maybe insights into early technology. A lot of people have proposed solar, fucking wind, fucking slave, whatever, different kinds of fucking power to make the pyramids.
Slave power.
Solar slaves, yeah. I mean, what, they had fucking Jews building them. They had the lower, like, people have proposed it was a masonry society that everyone was required to put in a certain amount of time from the society. There's all kinds of fucking theories. But the physical nature of the pyramids goes largely unaccounted for in just their existence. Louis C.K. says you just throw human suffering at it until it's done, and a part of me kind of believes that, because I've done things I didn't think I could do. I don't know. I don't know. I guess we could go over some fucking stupid... some stupid weird news, fucking change direction a little bit. We had a thief. He returned a 9/11 firefighter's flag with an apology. New York, an American flag was stolen from the family of a firefighter killed on September 11th and has been returned with a note that says, "I am so sorry. I had no idea." What the fuck? Somebody steals a flag. What kind of person steals a flag and then what do we got? 15 minutes left, right? Till it's 4 hours, yeah. It's not 4 hours now.
We started a little late, but yeah, it's 1 in the morning.
I got 12:52 on this shit, sorry. All right, My phone says 11:21 a.m. So this guy steals a flag. Who the fuck steals a flag in any kind of state of mind that they'll remember where they stole it from? First of all, are you stealing a flag? You know how cheap a fucking flag is? You're stealing a flag, and then on top of it, I could envision kids stealing flags and fucking throwing them in the river or burning them to be fucking because they think it's whatever, you know, hardcore and cool, some shit. I did it when I was 16. Used to burn flags because it was like, oh, look at me, I don't care, you know, like, I don't even know what we thought was what the point of that was, but, you know, this guy steals a flag. This is such a strange fucking thing, and then remembers where he took it from, finds out that the guy was killed in 9/11, and then brings it back. We got a caller on this subject, I guess. You're on the Sunday Evening Overdose. What's up?
Oh, man. Oh, man. I'm on the Overdose?
Yeah, dude, you're on the Overdose.
Oh, shit, man.
Fuck.
This is Clarence from Iowa, man, and I just wanted to say I really dig the shit you're doing, man.
I appreciate it, Clarence. Where in Iowa you're from?
I'm right on the border of Illinois, man.
Oh, yeah? What river is that right there?
That's the river, bro. That's right down by the river, bro.
Right, which river?
That's the Virginia River, bro. Listen, man, I've been drinking some Jim Beam while I've been listening to you because I thought it would be fitting, you know?
Hell yeah, that's what I've been drinking.
Yeah, no, I know. You say you drink a pint. Well,
I'm almost done, too. Where are you at?
I've been drinking a fifth, right? And I got my family. I got my two young daughters. And, you know, we're gathering around this computer thing, and we've been listening to you speak, man, and it's been great. But
just trying to bring the truth to the people, brother.
No, I feel you, man, and that's what it's about, man. But one of my daughters, my daughter Tamika, she had a good question. She asked me. She said, "Daddy, what do you feel about the unknown?" And my daughter's like 7 years old, and she shouldn't. I don't know how the fuck she that smart yet, bro. But
take her to the doctor.
But like, so my question to you is, what do you feel about the unknown, man? Like, what is the unknown, bro?
Well, if I could figure it out, guess what? It wouldn't be the unknown anymore, would it?
You're a fucking genius, man.
What? Why don't? How about I ask your daughter some questions? Can you put her on the phone?
They are asleep, man.
Oh, they're asleep. I thought she was listening to the show.
They were, but they fell asleep. Tamika!
Yeah.
Get the fuck up!
Tell her to get up, and we want her opinion on some fucking like ethereal, you know, matters here.
Oh my god, man, that would be so awesome.
That'd be hot.
What the fuck?
What?
Yeah, that's...
So what part of Iowa are you from again?
I'm from right by the river.
Right by the river. I like it over there. I'm fucking hung up. All right. Yeah. Thank you for the call. That was, you know, that's what we're talking about. You know, call up the show, have something going on for yourself. You know, like have an angle, have a fucking personality. That's a good caller. Clarence from Iowa. Clarence and his daughter Tamika. Yeah, Tamika, that was a good question. And tomorrow when Tamika wakes up, I want you to tell her that I said what I feel about the unknown is I feel fear, like any other human being does. And
I'm not all that sure about it.
Yeah, I'm not... fuck was that? Alright. Interrupt me in my fucking flow here. I feel fear like any other human being does. And that's why knowledge is so important, Tamika. Remember, as you go throughout your life into, the different adventures and situations you'll face, knowledge is the key to defeating fear and living in a way that you can be proud of. So, that's out to Tamika in Iowa. Your dad's a good guy, but if he hangs up on me again, we're going to have a fucking problem. I'll tell you that much right now. So it's been a good night here at the Sunday Evening Overdose. I've enjoyed the aliens. I've enjoyed the ghosts. I've enjoyed, I don't know. I've enjoyed the banter from the audience. We had some asshole fucking callers. That was cool. We had some good callers. We had some fucking shitty shit. We had some good shit. I think we're going to probably call it a night at this point and take you out. I wish I could play some more local music, but we're having a problem with all the shit I pulled. So I'm just playing shit off YouTube. And that's about it. I'm finishing up the blunt. I'm going to down the last little half an inch of whiskey here and listen to this some fucking Beck as we get out of here. Thanks for tuning in to the Sunday Evening Overdose. We'll be back next week, 9 p.m. on Ustream, and we're going to probably talk about the Son of Sam. We're going to talk about more aliens, sharks, ghosts, all the best. We'll have another good guest for you. Fuck you. Go fucking entertain yourself, fucking pieces of shit. I'm out of here.